Okay, a reminder out in Rutherford County, in Laverne, I-24 westbound between Waldron Road and exit 64 is going to be one lane open due to paving work. And then there is a crash with the off-ramp blocked at 24 downtown at the eastbound off-ramp at the I-40 East exit. And then out in Oak Hill, got blocked for road work at Granny White Pike between Overton Lee Road and Tyne Boulevard. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.505 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here along with Joan Jones, broadcasting from a very balmy Titan Stadium.
I would not consider this balmy.
Is it 29 degrees out here?
It's actually 28. See that?
28
right there?
degrees.
28 degrees, and it says foggy. I don't see any fog, but it's cold.
You know, if it was a warm fog, I would be okay with that.
Right.
But it's not a warm fog, and it's freezing out here. And I'm not, just so everyone knows, I'm not complaining about the conditions where there's no coffee, there's no hot water from my throat coat, and there's only two big heater things which are 20 feet away. Other than that, Joan, I'm not complaining.
I think that sounded like a complaint.
No, I'm not complaining about anything. I'm so happy. Jackson's here. Hi, Jackson. So Jackson's here and Joan's here and everyone's here. You know what we can do so we can make fun of Jackson's mic isn't working, so we can just start bagging on the balls.
We can do what?
Bag on the balls, the volunteers. He's wearing the Tennessee Volunteers thing. But seriously, it's like 28 degrees out here. Mm-hmm. And as I'm talking, I can, of course, see, everybody's breath is flying all over the place. And I feel like I should be doing like the Macy's Christmas Day Parade in New York. I feel like that's what I should be doing. Now, I think the highlight of my day thus far, and again, I'm not complaining. Just so everybody knows.
Even if it sounds like a complaint, this is not a complaint.
That there's no coffee, there's no hot water from my throat coat. You know what? By the way, I just got word, Joan. Do you know when all that stuff is going to get here? It's going to be here at 9.
9 o'clock.
It'll be here at 9.
As you're departing in your car.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So it'll be here for Chris Ann, but that's okay. Joan, by the way, we're on camera too. Is the camera working, Jackson? Okay. The camera has not frozen. That's good. So one of the things that Joan and I try to do, like right off the bat, is we try to trespass. And by the way, we will do content all day long, don't worry. But we tried to trespass. Joan and I went and figured out how to find the bathroom. And then Joan says to me, she says, hey, you want to go check out the stadium?
Well, see, so I've never been to the Titan Stadium, all right? So this was like new to me.
Can I just be honest?
And I see
you're not missing much.
You don't think?
This year, you're not missing much.
Well,
no.
This year maybe not, but it's cool. You can see right the steps where the stadium is, and I can tell the field's right there. So I said, come on, let's go do it.
And so Joan made me trespass into the Titan Stadium. And we're right there, and, we're at the top of the concourse, and we're looking out over a darkened and empty Titan Stadium, which, pretty much says what you
everything
you kind of read into that how the Titans season has been going.
And then the security guards came up and they tackled Dan. He tumbled over the side and landed on the field.
Sure,
broke a shoulder.
No, but what I tried to do,
I would prefer to taser myself.
Taser, yes. I'm liking the story.
What I tried to do, because they told me actually, and Jackson, you need to figure this out. Who do I need to talk to? They told me it was part of my rider that I would be able to kick a field goal, or at least try to kick a field goal. No, not the little itty-bitty 5-year-old field goal. They said that I could go down to the field.
And not the Nerf football, okay?
And try to kick a field goal. That was part of my rider. But then so was hot coffee, and I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. So we did try to talk to
some of the security
people into letting us down onto the field. And they wouldn't let us.
They not only wouldn't let us, but they had no sense of humor about it at all.
Not one, even a chuckle.
Not a crack of a smile. Not that's really cute of those radio people to think that they can go down onto a field.
Can I just be honest with you, though, about one thing, Joan? It was a little embarrassing when you did say, do you know who I am? When you said, "Do you know who I am?"
Who I am.
Then, of course, she was even less amused. I almost started telling her my story about how I broke into Fenway Park many years ago.
You did that.
Yeah, I did. I broke into Fenway Park. It was on my honeymoon.
Was this to get wait, on your honeymoon? All right.
Well, we went to a first wife story, but it's not a bad story. But we went to back to Boston, where my ex-wife was from, and we went to Fenway Park. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and there was a side gate was open. And so if it's open, you got to go through it. I darted. I didn't even wait until the car stopped. I darted out of the car. This is like my first wife is like, oh my God, this is what I'm in for with this guy, and I make a beeline for the stadium, and I got in the stadium, and I walk in, and I'm all by myself in Fenway Park, and it was an amazing experience. There are pictures somewhere of me running around Fenway Park.
Are they down at the police station?
No, you know what? There wasn't even security there. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah. Oh,
it was
really?
There was just a gate that was open.
That's crazy.
And she wouldn't let me go down onto the field.
You listened to her?
The one time, yeah, I listened to her, and but that was so. I was going to regale that story with the security guard to see if she, would, but no. So
I think you would have been wasting your time.
Now why? Absolutely. Yeah. Now why are we out here? We are here because it is Toy Field. So as we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, it is the 18th annual Toy Field Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. And what we ask you to do, we ask you to buy a toy, bring it down here for the kids. And in front of us, I don't know, we can't really, are we able to like move that camera and get a picture of the, I got Jackson here, and I don't want him to get bored. So Jackson's going to move the camera. And
we have our own little football field here. Look at that.
Yeah, we have a little football field. And by the end of the day, with all hope, by the end of the day, that field is going to be taken up with a whole bunch of toys from folks like you. So you go out, you buy a toy, you drop it off here at Toy Field. You can say hello to myself. You can say hello. We all know that Joan is the main attraction, and that's all fine, well, and good.
I think Jackson is the main attraction today.
Jackson, you're very popular.
Yes.
And not as popular as Sam, though. Because we got to make sure that Sam doesn't get jelly.
Yes.
So
how could I be jealous in this warm studio?
All right, wise guy. And you have coffee down the hall, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although it is radio station coffee, so there is that. So
hey, I brought my own.
You get a toy, you bring it down, you put it on Toy Field, you say hi to me and Joan, and
let's not forget that you can also bring down a gift for a senior, which I love that. That sort of has my heart.
What we were joking yesterday. Somebody was going to come down and bring me like Geritol or Depends. I think you said Depends, didn't you, Joan?
I may have.
Yeah, you may have. Anyway, so we are here till 9. If you want to hang out with Chris Hand, he's here 9 to 12. The whole gang is going to be here today. This is the first time that we've actually done a live broadcast down here.
Yeah.
And so we've got Chris Hand, Chad Benson, 12 to 3. Murphy Show is going to be here from 3 to 7. And so it's going to be a very long day out here at Toy Field for Jackson. But, again, first thing I said to Jackson was thank you for showing up. And Jackson, of course, is right underneath the heater, which is 20 feet away from me.
Who's smarter than him?
Yeah, right, exactly. So, anyway, pull up your phone. Can we talk about just very quickly, then I promise I'm going to get to content.
Yes.
Because you're not going to believe what the Somalians are doing now. You know what my problem is?
What is it?
Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
So
nobody's here. You can tell me.
We're next to the other stations, and they're going to be like, sports over there and music over here, and I'm going to be screaming about the damn Somalians all day. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, is that what they do all day at the talk station? It's like, yeah, that's what we do.
See, I think that'll help to attract some listeners.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Sure.
I do.
Very good. But I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got great news on the economy. Trump is going to help the farmers. So we have a lot of content today. By the way, Brian Wilson. Oh, and you know what tomorrow is? Do you know what tomorrow is, Joan?
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, I think I know.
You know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow's In and Out Day.
Tomorrow's In and Out Day. Tomorrow, In and Out opens up. And so that, of course.
Can we do a broadcast from there?
See, that would make sense.
Right?
Yeah, that would make sense. But, no, I actually, I actually have a challenge for Murphy Show that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, about my big challenge to Murphy Show. I'm going to see if he's going to take me up on the challenge. So tomorrow, the Lebanon location opens up.
Yeah.
And so that's very exciting. So I'm
I
debating
think
as
you
to
guys
whether
should
or
have,
not.
like back in Philly, we had the wings contest. See
Yeah.
who eats the most wings. So I think you guys should do a who can eat more burgers, and like give them a 3-minute span of time.
Really, like a hot dog contest, but with hamburgers?
Yeah, we would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that is a terrible idea because people choke to death doing that,
Oh.
actually. I mean, I don't mean to be a Danny Downer, but people
No,
choke
I think
to
you
death.
are. I think you are a Danny
Listen,
Downer.
In-N-Out, and they open Lebanon. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to get off work and stand in line for like 4 or 5 hours for an In-N-Out burger. Do you know one of the first things I did when my first show on WTN, it was on a Sunday, and somewhere during that little 2-hour broadcast, as I was trying to get used to the equipment and all that, I said that In-N-Out has got to come to Tennessee. And so even on my first show,
Yeah.
I was advocating for the state of Tennessee to get In-N-Out. You're welcome.
It was all because of you, Dan.
It's all because of me.
I'm surprised they haven't already given you like free hamburgers for life.
I want like a front of the line pass is what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that would be good.
You know what I need you to do, Joan? I need you to go down to the In-N-Out in Lebanon and say, "Do you know who I am?"
And they'll
And
say
that way- and that way-
no and get off our property.
Listen, all I'm saying is that you could get us to the front of the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jackson, you know Murphy. Is there a mic on? Can you do Mike? So Jackson knows Murphy, and I know Murphy well. And do you think that Murphy Show, because he doesn't have to be at work till 3.
Yeah.
You think Murphy Show would show up maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and get in line?
Oh, so that.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
then I can show up at like 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he can just pop me in and I can just get in line with.
I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't do that to save his soul.
Really?
Yeah. No, he's not gonna feed
Do you know what's
your
so?
habit.
Do you know what's so funny? I would do it for him. I would absolutely do it for him, but he won't do it for me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm going to ask him because I think the Murphy Show would do it. He could do live call-ins. Oh, that's what we do.
I like this
Matt
already.
Murphy. He could do live call-ins from the line.
Do you not? He made Maury do this. Mac Maury, when the Whataburger opened,
That's right. He did.
and I think he got
Wow.
in trouble for it.
Okay. Here's
Why?
No,
Why would you
hold
get
on.
in
Hold on. I was the PD who yelled at Matt Murphy for sending Mac Maury to go to Whataburger. That was me. But okay, number one, I was doing my job. Number two, there are if he got into a car accident, the station could be held responsible. There's all kinds of program directorly things that I had to do when I yelled at
There's a reason
Matt
why
Maury.
it's a really
Murphy
good idea
sending
for
Matt.
somebody who's on the air not to be the program director. Then you don't have to think like that.
Here's a great thing. I'm perfectly willing to break the rules when I'm not the PD.
Right.
Wasn't it snowing?
I think it was snowing.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was like a huge ice storm. I remember because my parents lived near that Whataburger, and I was still in college, so
Yeah.
it was wild. Like people were like sliding and wrecking their cars in the parking lot to
Oh
try
my
and get a
God.
Whataburger.
And I'm just going to be honest, and no offense to you folks at Whataburger, but you ain't no In-N-Out. And so I would not risk my life for In-N-Out Burger. Or I should say for Whataburger. I would for In-N-Out. Now, In-N-Out is great. We could send Stunt Boy Jackson out there.
Stunt Boy Jackson.
All the way
Jackson,
out
you
to
want
Lebanon?
to like be nice to the morning show? Go out and wait in line. I'll buy you a hamburger.
What time do you guys think the line starts?
It's already probably
Now.
started. Yeah.
I wonder if the line has started.
No.
All right, you know what? If there's anybody in Lebanon listening
this is
right
good.
now,
Mhm.
hey, you know what? This is where I irritate not one but two producers. Hey, Sam, take the phone off hold. The phone's off hold. And if anybody is driving around Lebanon, I would love to know if people are standing in line for In-N-Out. Because it would not surprise me if there are people standing in line right now.
So I wonder how relevant.
615-737-9986.
I wonder how relevant this is. So on the day that In-N-Out Burger is supposed to open, comes an announcement that 4 Whataburgers are closing.
Really?
Yeah. The one in Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro, on Memorial Boulevard, and 2 in Clarksville. So one on North 2nd Street and one on Haynes Street. They're all closing down.
You know, Whataburger came in, and there's anything going on in traffic? Sam, and we blew by traffic. Is there anything going on in traffic?
Yeah, we got a couple of crashes. They got that one downtown at the 24 eastbound off ramp, and then a vehicle fire with the right lane blocked on I-440 eastbound. Look out for that. And a crash at Harding Place at Night Valley Road out in the Mill Creek area.
Okay, thank you, Sam. So, Sam, take the phones off hold. And if anybody is driving by In-N-Out, I want to know if there's people that are braving the cold to stand in line on this December 9th, where we are broadcasting live from Titan Stadium, 29 degrees.
Stinking cold.
And it is cold. I don't know do you know what's so funny? I don't know if I've ever broadcast in weather this cold.
Really?
With heaters so ineffective.
Well,
But
they're
I'm not complaining. Jackson, you are my witness. I'm not complaining.
Jackson, does this not appear to be complaining?
I'm not complaining.
I'm Switzerland in this.
Listen, it's cool that there's no coffee. It's cool that there's no hot water for my throat coat. My voice is already giving out. But you know what? It's all fine, well, and good because I've got Joan here. We've got Jackson here.
Can I offer you some of my hot coffee that I made before I left my home?
It's okay. You've got COVID. And I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
And cooties.
Hey, so I've
COVID
got
and
Kevin here
cooties.
who's about to drive by if you guys want to hear from him.
Who? Yeah, go. Yeah, put him up real quick. And then I promise
Kevin, you're live.
Hey, Dan, in about a minute, I'll be going past the In-N-Out Burger. I'll
right.
let you know if there's a line or not.
I mean, I don't know about you, but in my younger years, I would actually wait in line for 24 hours for an In-N-Out. I would. And I would do it anytime for wacky radio
Now
bits.
that you're an old, codgety
now
old
that
man.
now that I'm a codgety old man that can't do a radio broadcast without coffee on site, I don't think that I would actually do it. But okay, so are you there at In-N-Out yet? What's your name?
My name's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, are you looking forward to going to In-N-Out?
I'm trying to find out what's so good about it. I hear everybody talk about it, Sean Hannity, everybody, but I don't know what's so good about it.
Well, listen, if Sean Hannity says it, it must be true. So, but you
Talks
know,
about it all the time.
do you want to? Are you there?
They don't even have the lights on yet.
What? So
Well,
this is a great time to go
I
stand
come
in
by
line.
the other day, all the lights were on, the building lights, the red lights, the yellow arrows, everything, but there's nothing going on there right now.
So
Okay.
they're trying to discourage people.
Now, Kevin, do you live in the general In-N-Out area?
I live in Westmoreland. I go past In-N-Out every day.
Like, could
get
you
to work.
stay there for hours on end and wait in line for me? Because that's what I'm going to ask Matt Murphy to do.
If they let me park my tractor trailer in the parking lot.
See?
I think with all the traffic problems that may be happening tomorrow, I think they may frown upon that. But, Kevin, thank you very much for playing along. It is 5:22 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So, I don't know. 4 Whataburgers are closing on the day that In-N-Out is opening up.
Very interesting, right?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge Whataburger guy. I've
Right.
been there a few times, but In-N-Out is so much better. Whataburger already failed in this town once, many, many, many years ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
In,
Right, Jackson?
Rivergate. Yeah,
In
they
Rivergate.
had one. It wasn't around when I was growing up, but it was a flower shop that still had like the old school like W building.
Yeah.
You knew what it used to be.
Yeah.
But it was a
I
flower
know exactly
shop
where
that,
you're talking about over
I
on
think the
Gallatin
flower shop's
Road.
Still there.
Yeah. They
So-
said, now Whataburger says that the closures were part of a way for the company to, quote, maximize opportunities for growth and help focus our efforts where we can make the biggest impact.
So they want to maximize opportunities for growth by shutting down 4 stores. That's like Joe Biden saying that he wants to protect the border by leaving it open.
Right. Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, that's.
All right.
I can't help but to note that it's on the day that In-N-Out's opening.
That is kind of sad because I don't like to see anybody lose their
No.
jobs. But you know what? That means more people can work in In-N-Out. So
Sure.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So Jackson, yes or no? You have not had In-N-Out?
I have had In-N-Out.
You have. All right, then you've had a Whataburger.
Yes.
So which is better?
I'm gonna say I think In-N-Out is better, mainly because I'm a big burger sauce, like a spread guy.
Yes.
So, Whataburger doesn't have that. They don't have any sauce.
I like. Now, see, I've had Whataburgers. I've never had In-N-Out, but I like the Whataburgers.
You know what?
I'm in for a treat.
You've got to go.
Yeah.
And Brian Wilson reminded me that about a year ago, I told him that I would buy him an In-N-Out hamburger. So
And he's never forgotten.
I sure did. He didn't. He sent me a text yesterday, and he said, "Oh, how conveniently that you've forgotten that." All right. Anyway, and by the way, Brian is going to be joining us at 7:06 here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, coming up, we do have actual content to get to, and we will do that. We do have Donald Trump bailing out the farmers. We have did you see Jasmine Crockett has now?
Oh, my goodness. Who couldn't see that?
I
coming a
know.
mile away?
Shocking, said no one
Yes.
at all. But did you see the actual announcement?
I did. I listened to it. I didn't see it.
There-
So was it a good visual?
It was a ridiculous visual, and we'll talk about that and a whole lot more straight ahead on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right. 5:29, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Madison, Joan Jones. It is a balmy 28 degrees in Nashville, Tennessee, out here at Toy Field, where we are collecting toys for needy children and also gifts for seniors. And we are going to be out here 5 a.m. all the way out till 7 p.m. So it'll be Joan and I. We're out of here, at least I'm out of here at 9. And then Chris Hand, 9 to 12. 12 to 3 is Chad Benson. And 3 to 7, Murphy Show will be out here. And so coming up now will be the content portion of the radio broadcast, Joan.
Oh, you have to let us know that? Okay.
It is so cold out here. I don't know if I've ever done a live broadcast from like when it's been this cold.
Yeah.
But that's okay because we're gonna muscle through is
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. So coming up, we're gonna play some audio from Jasmine Crockett's announcement that she's running.
Yeah.
Wait till you hear this. It is funny as all get out. It is all straight ahead. Jones got the news right now on WTN.
Good morning. Yeah, it is 5:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Big meeting in Washington today. It's Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Now, they'll brief top lawmakers known as the Gang of Eight behind closed doors. This briefing comes after the completion of the administration's national security strategy, a planning document that spells out America's long-term vision for protecting the nation. Lawmakers were also expecting, though, to raise questions about the legality of that military strike in the Caribbean in which 2 people, the survivors, were killed from a double-tap lethal attack that happened on September 2nd. An elementary student in Crossville is being charged with threatening mass violence at school. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office saying that student made alarming statements to fellow students at Stone Elementary School. No weapons were found, though, and no students were in danger, although they're not saying what exactly that student had threatened. Officials with the Crossville Police Department, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, and the Office of Homeland Security worked together to respond to this alleged threat. It happened yesterday. That student will be charged with making a threat of mass violence on school property, and that student has not been publicly identified. Metro Nashville police are hoping that the public will help in a search for finding a Riverside man who's wanted for murder in Los Angeles. Police say 32-year-old Trayvon Palmer and 2 other men approached an LA-based rapper named Christopher Cheeks in an alleyway and tried to rob him. Cheeks was shot to death during the encounter. One of his friends was wounded. Investigators have arrested 2 other suspects. They are Amir Carroll, he's 20 years old, arrested in Nashville in February, and Adrian Cameron was arrested in L.A. in May. Now, both remain in jail in Nashville on first-degree murder charges, but Trayvon Palmer is still believed to be in L.A. Anybody with information on Palmer's whereabouts is asked to contact local law enforcement or the U.S. Marshals Service. And guess who's staying on your late-night TV? Jimmy Kimmel just signed a 1-year extension to his contract with ABC, keeping him in the host seat through May 2027. You know, he's been at it since 2003. That's the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather just ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Okay, it's all the same that we've been dealing with this morning. We still have that vehicle fire out on I-440 eastbound before the I-65 exit 5 exit. It is fully engulfed. Reminder, out in Oak Hill, Granny White Pike is blocked for road work between Overton Lee and Tyne Boulevard. Still have a crash downtown at 24 eastbound at the off-ramp to I-40. The ramp is blocked still, and then a crash at Harding Place and Night Valley Drive. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and a welcome on into Nashville's Morning News. We are live at Toy Field, Nissan Stadium, at balmy 28 degrees. Although, Joan, I'm both grateful and embarrassed.
Okay.
Because I complained so much.
Yes. So bitterly.
Yes. About how cold it was that they actually grabbed a heater from apparently this is from the Titans general manager's office, and they brought it all the way down here. For me, so now I've got my own personal heater.
I think, look up underneath of that. It says, stay off the field.
I think that is exactly what it says. Anyway, so we are out here. So if you have a spare toy to give to a child, we are collecting toys here at Toy Field at Nissan Stadium. And also we are collecting gifts for seniors as well. We are out here all day long. We have it's a big field right in front of us. And by the end of the day, through contributions just like yours, dropping toys off here at Titan Stadium, we will get that field completely filled with toys.
I can't wait to see that.
It is, in all honesty, it is a great thing to see. It is a lot of fun, and people come down, and toy stores come down, and sponsors and advertisers and listeners come down and drop off toys. We've already got, actually, some Barbie dolls and some other.
So people shouldn't wrap their gifts when they bring them, right? Just bring the toys as they are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, don't wrap the gifts. If you want to, that's fine, but you don't need to wrap the gifts, and it will be it'll be a lot of fun, and people keep bringing it down. All the construction is going on down here at Titan Stadium, so there is that to contend with. But you can get in, you can get right in, and you can get right out, and if you want to come, I'm told if people want to park their car and they want to come in and say hello to Joan and myself, then, feel free, and we would appreciate it. Now, Jasmine Crockett has announced that she is running for the Senate. Not exactly shocking. And this is, hey, Sam, just watch the levels on this. Just the first time we're playing audio doing it this way. But there is a rapper. Actually, I don't know if you heard this. There is a rapper that had a little song for Jasmine Crockett. He's up there at the podium as he's introducing her.
Let's get into it.
And here we go.
Oh, boy.
Okay. She ain't never scared and she ain't never been. Who is willing to go toe-to-toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids. They protect folks touching them. Trump invading his own country with our army. What a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats. What y'all thought we wasn't gonna do nothing, buddy? Think again. They only trying to scare out of running because they think she'll win. Listen.
I don't know who this is.
I don't care.
But I'm barely getting the lyrics, and I'm not really understanding them.
Can we go back to the beginning, because there was a lyric in there that I think this guy's going to have to make amends for.
Okay, here we go. And again, I don't know who this is. Sam, maybe you can figure it out.
Okay. She ain't never scared and she ain't never been. Who is willing to go toe-to-toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids. They protect folks touching them.
They protect folks touching them. Did you hear that? She said, he said she feeds them. They protect folks touching them.
I think they're trying to talk about Democrats or Republicans, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're touching them.
I think they're talking about Epstein. Is that what he's talking? Here's the deal. If you have to explain the rap lyric, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it's like my jokes if I have to explain them.
Right.
Well, and to that point, she would rather abort the babies than feed them.
That's true. Sam, good point.
There is that as well. So, yeah, do you know, Sam, were you able to figure out who this rapper is? Is this somebody that we should actually know? I don't know who it is.
Invading his own country with our army, what a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats. What y'all thought we wasn't gonna do nothing, buddy? Think again. They only trying to scare out of running because they think she'll win. Listen, thought I told y'all.
Cameron McLeod.
All right, so who is that? Is that again,
Nobody.
somebody that we should know? It's
No.
nobody?
No.
All right.
I know 6 guitarists down on Broadway more popular.
Yeah, it's interesting too because everybody knew that this was going to happen. Everybody knew that Jasmine Crockett was going to be running for the Senate. We'll have to see how she does. I would be interested to know, and I'm a little bit of a disadvantage broadcasting live, but that's fine. Can you look up on the Poly Market if they have any? Because the polling is going to be all pro Jazzy, right?
Of course.
They're going to be like fawning all over themselves, talking about how she is going to go to the Senate and she's going to, do great there, just like she's done so well in the House of Representatives.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because remember, and we found this out during the 7th, where the polling is going to be a lot different when it's going to be like a polling company.
Yes.
They tend to lean a certain way versus the Poly Market. All they want is money. And it turns out the Poly Market, remember, the Poly Market was right.
Right, yes.
They were correct. So this is what old Jazzy has to say. I don't know if this is going to work with the audio.
Turning Texas blue
Can you hear that?
is what I want to talk to y'all about.
It's pretty low.
Is it pretty low?
Now, there are those that say, ain't no way, we done tried it 50 kinds of ways.
I blame Jasmine Crockett for that.
Yeah.
But she says that they want to turn Texas blue, and she is bound and determined to make that happen. I don't know how she's going to fare if she ran up against. Who would she be running against? Is it John? Is John Cornyn retiring?
No.
Is
yes.
it Ted Cruz? Is John Cornyn?
John Cornyn's retiring, but also in the field at this point is Ken Paxton. He's thrown his hat in.
Yeah.
There is another Republican who's done so. But if you remember yesterday, there was a Democrat, and I can't remember his name, decided he was running for the seat, the Senate seat. And at some point yesterday, he said, you know what, I've changed my mind. I think I'll go for the House of Representatives instead. And that's when you knew Jasmine Crockett was muscling her way in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, so she has now decided that she is going to run, and we'll have to see where that whole thing goes. Texas has had a lot of people move into that great red state. And so now you've got, cities like San Antonio and Dallas, and there's a lot of Democrats in that state now. So the demographics have changed, and they've talked about in the state of Texas, I know because I used to do a lot of shows there, they've talked about how there is a lot more Democrats in the Lone Star State, and so we'll have to see how she does. And you've got, for Jasmine Crockett, we'll look up and see who else is running in that primary. It'll be fascinating to watch.
I've got it if you want it.
Go ahead.
James Tallarico.
Okay.
Tallarico. So when I look at the Poly Market odds, she has the second best to even win the Democratic primary behind James Tallarico.
Who is James Tallarico? Like, what does he do?
He's a, let's see, he's a Democrat.
Maybe he's a House of a state lawmaker. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
he's a
saying.
state representative,
Okay.
All right.
and he's a white guy, so he might
he's gonna
poll
lose.
better with the white liberal women.
Oh, I don't know. That white guilt.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. All right, moving right along. Keith Ellison. We all know Keith Ellison, right? Keith Ellison is the Attorney General out there in the state of Minnesota. And this stealing Somalians story is not going away. And this is the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, and this is what he said yesterday.
But let me just say this. We all want to protect the public dollar. We want to prosecute people who engage in fraud.
Mm-hmm.
We are up for that.
Right.
But we can't do it on a partisan basis. We got to do it together. We can't use incidents like this to score a political point.
Oh, my God. So do you know what that means? When Keith Ellison says we can't use incidents like this to score political points, that means they know that they're losing.
Right.
That means that they know that the entire country is looking at them, looking at Tim Walz and looking at Keith Ellison and looking at the state of Minnesota run by Democrats and how they have allowed this to go on for years.
We got to come in as a state and say, you will not steal money intended for poor people and prosecute them. That's how we protect the resources of the state of Minnesota.
Right. That's what she's trying. So what he's trying to do is say, no, don't blame anybody. Whenever the Democrats say, oh, we should stop all the finger pointing, it's because they know that all the fingers are being pointed at them. Very controversial guy, by the way, Keith Ellison. Very liberal, of course. And he was being interviewed last night. And I thought that comment was interesting because he doesn't want this politicized. And the reason why he does not want this politicized is because he knows that they are losing their political butts. So the Democrats, of course, are experts in politicizing everything. Of course, we all know the never let a good crisis go to waste, right? We all know that is something that the Democrats live by. Bottom line is, though, demanding accountability is core to fixing this problem. The question is, will there be anyone held accountable for this? I mean, Trump has sent in, of course, ICE, and they're looking at all that. But for the Democrats, they are trying to run from this thing, and I don't know if they're going to be able to. We'll have to see what happens. You know, the thing is, you got Tim Walz, you got Keith Ellison, and you got other Democrats who, of course, are culpable in this as well. And the state of Minnesota, they'll still vote Democrat. I mean, they're not going to change. You know, you talk about politicizing. I would say that these things do need to be politicized because people need to know who is responsible for this. People need to know what is going on with all of this fraud in these Democrat-run states, friends. I mean, there's a lot of talk about how these Somalians refuse to really assimilate into our country, and demanding accountability is core to fixing this problem. One thing they can do easily, and we just found out about this, one thing we found out they can do easily in Somalia is get driver's licenses. And they can do it just as easily here. The libs of TikTok, listen to this. The libs of TikTok posted this audio captured of a guy working to, of course, help get an incoming Somalian, guy's name is Mohammed, of course, a driver's license. Listen to this, though. This is crazy.
He did have an issue in Somalia with his driving. Is that going to impact it, or do you guys just not connect with it?
We don't have reciprocity from one country to another, so we don't pull a driving record or anything along those lines.
So if it did lead to an accidental death, when he was driving, he was actually going over a crosswalk and hit a jogger. That's not going to impact the driver's license here, right?
We wouldn't be able to access those records. So, again, we don't have reciprocity from one country to another. So
wow.
We wouldn't be able to pull those records.
Okay. I appreciate the help. This was actually a lot easier than I thought. I was expecting it to be a lot more hurdles, so this makes it
reciprocity.
I'll go let Mohammed know.
So, all good for Mohammed. Even though he killed somebody going through a crosswalk in Somalia, he's going to be able to just as easily get a...
The brain trust of that woman is saying reciprocity, as if that's a word. It's reciprocity.
It is reciprocity.
What is...
And so...
My goodness.
Okay, so there's a lot of things to be upset about in that piece of audio. But
it gives you an idea of the mindset of the people that are deciding these things.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
And this concept of reciprocity, where two countries or jurisdictions recognize each other's driver's licenses.
Yeah.
So apparently here in America, you can kill someone in another country, and it does not reflect negatively on your driver's license here. It's crazy. Oh, and by the way, in this call, they also talk about how old Mohammed doesn't speak English, but yes, he can still take the test.
Okay, so his name's Mohammed. I guess now the next step would be this. He doesn't speak any English. Is the test done in Somalian?
So for the Class C language, we do translate in Somalia. On that form, that application that I was talking about earlier, there's a box on there that says oral. He would just need to check that.
So there you go. So in this country, in our country, in Minnesota, you can, and the rules are different in Tennessee, but you can kill someone.
Yeah.
By rolling through a crosswalk, kill someone, not speak English, and you can still get a driver's license.
That is absolutely insane.
None of this is surprising.
It's not surprising, and how is this supposed to keep the people of America safe? Isn't that...
Joan.
I know.
You know it's not...
know.
You're awfully jingoistic.
Yes.
It's not about Americans. It's about letting all of these other people in.
Right.
Don't you know?
Because that's our responsibility. I thought the government's main responsibility is the safety and security of the people of America.
That is like the basics of government.
Yes.
Here in Tennessee, in case you're curious, we offer translations in 5 languages: English, Spanish, German, Korean, and Japanese. You do have various groups, by the way, that are trying to make Somalian happen here in Tennessee. A group is actually suing the state of Tennessee to try and get driver's license tests in Somalian and Arabic, other languages as well.
Oh, wow.
We don't want that. We don't want
no.
our state to be a magnet. That lawsuit, by the way, is pending. Ilhan Omar is all over the place defending herself, by the way. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is 5:52, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, there's some of that.
5:57, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Is this TSO? Is that Trans-Siberian Orchestra there, Sam?
I don't know. It just says Xmas bump.
Oh. The Xmas bump.
We don't even put Christ
Rotator.
in our bumps. Sorry.
No, we wouldn't want to do that. All right. Ilhan Omar. And by the way, coming up at 6:36, we do have Matthew Hurt is going to be joining us at 7:06. Brian Wilson is going to be joining us as well. And a lot of things coming up, including, I think, do you remember, Joan, when I said that the Democrats may rue the day when they made affordability the big catchphrase for the midterm elections? I may be right on this, because there are a lot of really good positive signs that are happening right now within our economy. We're going to get into that coming up in the 6 o'clock hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What do you think the over-under is that Ilhan Omar is going to be investigated by the Fed?
Well, I think she's got to be.
She absolutely has to be. Now, a couple of years ago, she sent a letter, which I think that it's kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free card, where she says that she sent a letter to the Biden administration asking the Biden administration to check out all of this fraud that was going on. This was over the weekend. Ilhan Omar.
We obviously had people who were able to donate to our campaign that were involved. Mm-hmm. We sent that money back a couple years ago. And actually, I was one of the first members of Congress to send a letter to the Secretary of Ag asking them to look into what I thought was a reprehensible fraud that was occurring within the program.
Putting aside the fact that she said the Secretary of Ag versus Ag.
Is that what she was trying to say? I'm trying to figure out what that meant.
Yeah.
Ag. Okay.
So that letter was sent, dated back in 2022, but she didn't do anything after that. And so now we all know that this money has gone to Al-Shabaab, that Al-Qaeda offshoot. Remember that over the years, they've been recruiting young men. Al-Shabaab has been recruiting young men in Minnesota to become homegrown terrorists. This has been going on since back in 2007, 2008. The FBI confirmed that Al-Shabaab recruiters had targeted young men to go to Somalian training camps for terrorism. A couple became suicide bombers. These recruitments often happened in mosques, of course. Now a lot of this stuff happens in social media. But Minnesota remains one of the biggest concerns for this type of recruitment. So that is part of the conversation. Ilhan Omar. So people are talking about whether or not Ilhan should be investigated by the Department of Justice. There is a bit of a movement online. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is 6 o'clock, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello there, I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. And a Tennessee man is accused of attacking several of his co-workers at a manufacturing facility over the weekend. Smoky Barn News reporting that incident took place Saturday morning at a Springfield company when an 18-year-old employee allegedly hit one of his co-workers in the face with a mop handle and then another on the head with a heavy hand magnet. There was another worker that attempted to intervene and was also hit with the magnet. The attacker then snapped the broom and tried to stab his co-workers with the broken end. Those employees managed to tackle the 18-year-old and hold him down until police arrived. None of the employees required medical attention, but the attacker was treated and then booked into the Robertson County Jail on aggravated assault charges. Staffing issues still haunting Nashville International Airport. The FAA had to issue a ground stop yesterday due to staffing issues. It was expected to last from 4 till 9 o'clock last night. It's not clear if the ground stop has been lifted yet this morning. Alina Habba has had it with New Jersey. She's stepping down from her post as temporary U.S. attorney after a federal appeals court ruled that she had been unlawfully appointed to that role. Attorney General Pam Bondi accepted her resignation, but faulted the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit for the move, saying that ruling, quote, has made it untenable for her to effectively run her office. Well, Habba will instead work as a senior advisor to the Attorney General for U.S. attorneys. Habba will return to the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey if the Justice Department successfully wins an appeal to the Supreme Court. That appeal has yet to be filed. President Trump announcing that he'll allow a California-based NVIDIA to sell its advanced H200 computer chips to approved customers in China. It's a boost to the semiconductor giant whose chips are widely used for artificial intelligence. The U.S. government is going to take a 25% cut of the chip sales to China, the president said in a Truth Social post. Now, the deal does not include NVIDIA's more advanced Blackwell system or its soon-to-be-released Rubin system. He said, though, that he informed Chinese President Xi Jinping of the decision, and the Chinese leader responded positively. The sales will be carried out under conditions, the president says, that allows for continued strong national security. And what do you name a baby who was born in the parking lot of a Buc-ee's? Little Bucky, of course. It happened in Missouri where Nathan and Jenna Birdsong tried to make it to the hospital in the middle of the night. This happened in November, but they only got as far as the Buc-ee's when they were forced to pull over. Luckily, the baby was delivered successfully there, and everyone was transported to the hospital. The couple have 2 other kids. Actually, they named this baby Alina Grace, but her permanent nickname is going to be Little Bucky. That is the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather just ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Okay, we still have the right exit lane blocked on I-440 eastbound before the I-65 exit 5 from an earlier car fire. And then a reminder out in Oak Hill, blocked for road work on Granny White Pike between Overton Lee Boulevard and Tyne Boulevard. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I got you hot. That was probably on there.
.605 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and good morning to your friends. Hope you are doing well, and we are live. The 18th annual Toy Field, the Toy Drive, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control, and we are inside the South End Zone Plaza between gates 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium. We are here till 6 o'clock. Joan is here. I'm here as well. It is it still 28 degrees? Is it maybe a little bit warmer now?
Let me check it out.
We got here. It was 28 degrees. We've got heaters.
Oh, here. There's some good news for you.
Yes.
It's 27 now. You know how the temperature always dips a little in the morning.
Now, when you were in Philadelphia, did you ever do a broadcast out on the street this cold?
No.
No?
No. In Philadelphia, we were treated like kings and queens.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
Now, I think after the tornadoes a few years ago, I broadcast live from downtown somewhere where it was devastated by the tornadoes.
Okay.
And so I did a live broadcast out there. And I think it was about this temperature when I was out there doing that broadcast as well. Really, really cold, but it is for a great cause.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Joan, the cause, the reason we're out here, it warms my heart.
It warms your heart?
It warms my heart.
It's the only thing warming it right now.
It is for the kids. So y'all know what Toy Field is, right? So there is, in front of us, there is a little field, and it's like a football field. And by the end of the day, with your donations, that is going to be filled with all kinds of toys. And so what we're asking you to do is we're asking you to bring an unwrapped toy for a child or a gift for a senior, and it is all part of the Forgotten Angels program. And so I don't know what the big hot toy is right now, but if you want to bring something down, you can come on down. You can say hello to Joan. You can say hello to myself, and we would love to say thank you to you for bringing down an unwrapped toy for the kids. By the way, brought to you today by A.O. Smith and also Wayne's Pest Control and our friends at Nashville Tent and Awning. And again, appreciate all the help. Do you think, Joan, anybody's going to show up here at Nissan Stadium?
I hope so.
They usually do. They usually do.
Okay. I mean, it would be easy if you just left a couple of minutes early for work. Come on by the stadium, park your car real quick, run in, say hello. We'll take a picture, and then you can be on your way, and you'll feel good about doing so for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you want to bring, again, a toy for a child, a gift for a senior.
Yeah.
And how old are you, Joan?
I'm not telling you.
So
Dan.
you're more senior than I am. So what do you think a senior might want?
So I was thinking about this today.
I actually was too.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be simple stuff like like a nice coffee cup or reading materials. I don't know. I don't know. I think clothing's probably too personal, right?
Yeah.
What kind
Unless
of other
it's
stuff
warm
would you
clothing.
get a senior? Warm clothing.
Warm
like a
clothing
sweat-
would be
Ooh,
good.
How about like mittens and a hat, like a matching kind of stuff? That would be nice.
You know what's so funny? When we were kids, we would have hated these gifts.
Yes.
But
yes.
do you know? I actually asked my daughter. She was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I actually told my daughter, I wanted socks.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
My kids.
My wife was like, "Man, you really are old."
Yeah.
But listen, the economy is looking better and better, so you folks have no excuse, and that's where I want to start the hour. So, by the way, Super Text line is open.
Oh, yes.
615-737-9986.
Checking out our text too. Let's see.
The economy
Does
is.
it have to be a new toy? Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Isn't that? I mean,
it
that's
has
a
to
good
be
question.
a new toy unwrapped.
And also, is there room to park a box truck? Yeah, I think you can park a
box truck. Yeah, there's a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it on in.
Listen, if you want to bring a box truck
Yes.
full of toys, that would be wicked cool.
Way cool. Yeah.
Wicked cool.
Okay, wicked.
Yeah, that's a Boston thing.
I see.
So, it would be great if you could. And you can come say hi to, the donation of the toy certainly is worth it for the cause.
Yes.
But also to meet Joan Jones.
No, stop. Come on. We want to meet people. We want you to come on down here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take pictures with people and post them on my social media.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
That'd be fun.
And we're going to be out here all day. So after me,
Yep.
Chris Hand will be here at 9. And again, as we said, that's when all the coffee and the hot water will be here at
There'll
9.
be donuts here, I'm
It'll
sure.
be here at 9,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Also, and then Chad will be here noon to 3, and then Murphy Show from 3 to 7. So if you want to meet Matt, you want to meet, we've got Jackson is here as well, and we're having a good time. By the way, this is a great audio bite. You want to hear a great audio bite?
Yes.
All right. This is a woman who is suddenly realizing that, you know what, gas prices are going down.
Yeah.
Gas, let's just call it $1.83. I have not seen gas $1 and some change since the early 2000s. What the hell going on?
Let me tell you what's going on, girlfriend. Gas is looking better and better. Every time I mention gas prices, this is what I love about our audience. Every time I mention gas prices, I get notes from you folks telling me how good the gas prices are. Prices are down. I wrapped up the last segment in the previous hour talking about how the Democrats are going to rue the day, and I'm going to get Matthew Hurt's opinion on this because he's going to be joining us here in a few minutes. But every time we talk about gas prices and every time we talk about the economy and how things seem to be just getting better, we talked about on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, record amounts of money were spent. I mean, that I think clearly is an indicator, more than any politician spewing talking points will tell you. Those are indicators that the economy is doing better. And I think that for President Trump, he is laser focused, it seems to me, on doing what he can to improve the economy. Gas prices are down, 4-year low. Remember, it was weeks ago, really, that I said the Democrats making affordability their key issue could actually be making a mistake because the economy is getting better. That lady, and I'm not sure exactly where she was, but she was stunned at how much lower gas prices are. Somebody might want to tell her, by the way, that President Trump has pushed for lower and lower gas prices through policy, pushing for more domestic drilling, boosting production, encouraging innovation through deregulation, among many other things. Brooke Rollins, she is AG secretary under Donald Trump. She is very excited, as a lot of people are.
2.5 million new jobs that have been created since the president was sworn in, all going to American-born citizens. This is amazing. The fastest wage growth in 60 years. Gas is down. Lumber is down. Eggs are down, Larry Kudlow. Really, everything is coming down. But we believe so sincerely. Listen, we're not tone deaf. We know that America, or a lot of Americans at least, are like, well, we're still not feeling the relief. The relief is coming. The structure is there. The one big beautiful bill, tax cuts go into effect. Costs are coming down. It really is a golden age just right around the corner. And I am so excited and so grateful as the president now moves out across the country next year to talk about it as we continue the work here in Washington to make sure it happens.
See, that messaging is actually perfect because she's talking about the successes, but she is also talking about how she knows that there is still work to be done. So she's touting the wins, but she's continuing to push forward, as is Donald Trump. And effectively what they're saying is, we feel your pain, we're working hard to fix it, and we are going to be doing that every single day. You know who else threw the Democrats for a loop yesterday? I don't know if you saw this. Dave Ramsey.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He threw the Democrats for a loop. I just got one little audio bite to play because I think part of what's going on, and we can talk a little bit about this coming back, but I think the Democrats are really trying to make affordability happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm
Yes.
not saying that the economy is perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination, but there have been clear signs that things are getting better. This is what Dave Ramsey had to say.
Interest rates are down, and gas prices are down below $3 in most places. And the economy seems to be, the people we're talking to are really not having huge, serious affordability problems. There's a lot of talking heads, a lot of squawking about that, but most of that's political.
I mean, you heard him say. A lot of that is political. Got a lot more straight ahead. 6:15, time to check the roads on WTN. News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know what, Sam? I don't have my weather ahead of me. What's the weather going to be like today, real quick?
It's going to be sunny with a high of 50, but obviously that'll be later.
Thank you, Sam.
Much later.
For that. I'm laughing, for people watching on Super Talk TV, which is up and running. Nobody wants to hear this, but my nose keeps running, and I don't have any tissue. Do you have any tissues?
Look, here's what I...
Oh, look at Joan. Look at Joan.
See, I went into the bathroom. I'm the mom.
The mom of the show. Thank you so much. Because,
enjoy that one ply.
I don't know, whatever.
This is actually 2-ply. This is what's going on at the Titans Stadium.
They got 2-ply here?
They got 2-ply.
That's because they play like crap.
Listen.
Oh.
No. They need to switch to 1-ply and get an offensive line. Huh?
Put the savings in,
Some football humor right there. All right. There you go. I thought that was funny. Anyway, you heard Dave Ramsey talk about talking points and talking heads. And I think that there is something to be said for the fact that the Democrats are, and, Donald Trump, we all know what he did. Donald Trump said that affordability is a Democrat con job. And what the president means by that is that the Democrats, it's awfully rich now as the Democrats led us through 4 years of the worst economy in recent memory with Joe Biden. And now all of a sudden, they're out there again squawking about the economy. So I think that is what Donald Trump means. But we do have a lot to be proud of. And 2026 hasn't even happened yet. Remember what's going to happen in 2026 with a lot of those tax breaks, no tax on tips, and all the other things that the president has done, no taxes on overtime, all the things that the president has done to put more money in your pocket. So that's going to be a very big deal. And again, I'm going to ask Matthew Hurt. Matthew, if you're listening, first question I'm going to ask you, will the Democrats rue the day that they made affordability the phrase for 2026 in the midterm elections? Because, again, that may turn out to bite them in the butt. 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. We missed a story yesterday. We had a lot of stories we covered yesterday, and so it wasn't a lack of other content, but we missed this story, and I think it's interesting. Did you know that the New York Times has now done a blockbuster expose, Joan, on how Joe Biden shanked immigration?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I've heard this story. It is amazing. Like, what caused them to wake up?
I don't know, but this was the headline.
Yeah.
The headline was How Biden Ignored Warnings and Lost Americans' Faith on Immigration. They say that his staffers warned of chaos if Joe Biden did what he was talking about, allowing massive immigration into the country. He was warned many times, and his inner circle ignored the warnings, and they way underestimated the scale of migration or illegal immigration, and they failed to appreciate the political reaction to that migration. What is stunning, though, is that they didn't see this coming. I mean, they clearly weren't listening to talk radio. They clearly weren't listening to, I don't know what the podcasters were doing, but it's stunning that they were so, I guess maybe the right word is insulated.
Yeah.
They were so insulated, they had no idea that the American people were seeing what was going on, and they were horrified by it. And we were all talking about how this is something that America may never, ever actually recover from. And we're seeing that right now. This is part of that story from the New York Times. As public concern over border security grew, partly in response to Mr. Biden's own actions, his administration proved catastrophically slow to change course, former aide said. The president and his closest aides treated immigration as a distraction over other issues, such as the coronavirus pandemic and the economy. Now, I don't need to bother really talking about this all that much because we've already said this. We've been saying this for years. But wasn't it the New York Times, the same media outlet that many years later actually admitted that Hunter Biden's laptop story was real and not Russian disinformation? Yes, it was. And didn't it also take the New York Times a long time to admit that COVID could have actually come from that Wuhan lab? Yes. So in other words, I'm starting to notice a pattern. And that pattern is that talk radio and conservatives, we scream about things for years before the mainstream media finally catches up to us.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. It is funny that they keep doing this. And so they're going to be, and I'm just telling you, the New York Times probably going to be hitting the economy hard and talking about affordability and how people can't afford stuff, when the reality is that while there is work to be done, things are looking better and better. And yes, things are looking up. It is 6:21 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan's got the news coming up at 6:30. Joan.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So coming up here in the news at 6:30, we've got a Lawrenceville County School Board member who's in trouble with the law. And you remember Derek Chauvin, right?
Oh, sure do.
Oh, yeah. He's trying to make a comeback. We'll tell you what his efforts are all about coming up here at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dan Mandis here for my two-way connection, the Glock store. And last weekend, it was a huge success with Tactical Santa photos. People came from all across Middle Tennessee to take Christmas photos with Tactical Santa. It's so Tennessee, right? You show up with your favorite props, maybe your favorite firearms, and for $25, you get a professional family portrait by Glock Store's in-house photographer. And yeah, you can even bring your pets and your guns. So this is really a unique opportunity to create memories. And while you're at the Glock Store taking photos, take advantage of shopping for some great specials and discounts on all things two-way for you and a loved one. Or, it all wraps up this weekend. So be cognizant that you can't do this after this weekend. They're wrapping it up. Tactical Santa at the Glock Store, Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend. Find them online, glockstore.com and shoot270.com. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. Dan Mandis here, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Now, they are spreading holiday cheer with amazing deals and community giving as well. It's all about saving you money. And not a lot of companies are doing that these days, but Busy Bee absolutely is. I come with examples. I come with receipts. Call Busy Bee, upgrade your water heater, and get a free 10-year parts warranty. If you've got a clogged main line, take advantage of Busy Bee's 93 or free offer. You've been hearing about this. If they can't get your drains flowing, you pay nothing. Great deals from a fantastic HVAC company, one of Tennessee's best, BusyBeeHVAC.com. They're always trying to save you money and help the community. Drop off a new toy to Busy Bee's headquarters in Lebanon for needy kids in Wilson County. Find details on all of these great offers at BusyBeeHVAC.com and call them. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, BusyBeeHVAC.com. 627, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Are we doing the so that is not your...
It is not. I would not choose that one.
Yeah, we are doing Christmas, our own Christmas bumps coming up at 6:35, and I'm told that Joan has one.
I have a superior one today.
Okay.
No more sisters for me.
No more sisters for you?
Oh, please.
Can I just say that was brutal yesterday? That was brutal. Anyway, moving right along. All right, so we are broadcasting live from Toy Field. It is the 18th annual Toy Field. Joan, we've been here for 90 minutes. We have not received one toy.
Not one.
Not one. Come on, people.
Lame-o. Come on, people.
So you want to bring down an unwrapped toy for a child or a gift for a senior. And it is the 18th annual Toy Field. And so right in front of us, take a shot, would you, Jackson, of what's going on here? We got Jackson here from the Murphy Show. He's slumming it with us this morning, Joan.
It was very nice of him to slum with us. Did they pay you extra for this,
Well,
Jackson?
they had to pay Jackson triple time because of the hazard pay of working with you. So
hazard pay of working with me.
Hazard pay of working
You're
with Joan
You're the one
Jones.
that's complaining about, I'm so cold.
Do you know what Joan said to me?
There's no coffee.
Do you know what Joan said to me just a few minutes ago during the break, Sam?
Do you know who I am?
She said, no. She said, I'm warm over here. I'm burning up because she's got the heater is kind of closer to her.
It's because they moved another heater in for your sake.
And it's still not working. I'm not complaining. It's still too cold. But anyway, here's what you need to do, friends. Warm my heart by bringing a toy. Say hi to me and Joan, and bring a toy for a kid or a senior.
So one of our listeners, Christy, also suggested that, we were talking about what gifts for seniors.
Yep.
So nice soft throws and gripper socks for seniors, word search books, things like that. Like, seniors appreciate that kind of stuff.
Do you know what's so funny? I got gripper socks last year. They are the greatest thing ever.
I know, aren't they?
Do you have gripper socks?
I do, because we have all hardwood floors.
Yeah, we got floors in my house, and the gripper socks. Well, I fell down the stairs not once but twice, and so Amy was like, "Okay."
How much did you have to drink that day?
We need nothing. I would like to say that I was drunk, but no, I would
slip right out.
Slip down the stairs.
Wow.
So
you're a hazard, and you're not even my age yet.
So Amy got me some gripper socks. It was embarrassing and loving both at the same time. All right, Matthew Hurt is coming up next. I do want some folks to bring down some toys. That'd be great if you would come down, say hi, take a picture, and are we like officially competing with the other stations? Is that what we're doing?
Well, you know what? The other stations do not. Oh, only one appears to be on the air.
Oh, whatever. Okay,
yeah,
we're not
going to.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll return next.
Oh, you mean like competing to see how many people bring down?
How many? How many toys can bring in? That's what I want to know. Is if are we competing with Q and the sports station?
Yeah.
Because I would like to beat the sports station in the amount of toys that come down here.
That would be really nice. Well, what we can do is, listen, check this out. We can intercept people as they come in the doors.
We can.
We can intercept. That's a football term.
There you go.
And
do you know what? I can pretend to be a Titan.
Like a football player?
Yeah.
Like a water boy.
Yeah.
All right, it's 6:30 on WTN.
Good morning now. 6:31 now. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A Lawrence County School Board member in trouble with the law now, accused of violating an order of protection against his ex-wife. His name's Dr. Noah Chad Shannon. Arrested before Thanksgiving. He's accused of contacting someone who worked with his ex-wife, stating that he would financially ruin her if the protection order wasn't dropped. Police are saying that he paid $10,000 for an attorney just to mess with his ex-wife. Shortly after a warrant issued for his arrest, Shannon turned himself in to the Lawrenceburg police. He has been charged with violation of an order of protection. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is again seeking to overturn his conviction in the murder of George Floyd and get a new trial. Chauvin's attorney filed a petition. It claims that physicians who served as expert witnesses during Chauvin's trial gave faulty testimony about the cause of Floyd's death. The filing specifically raises concerns about the use of video evidence during the trial. The court filing also claims that Chauvin's use of that knee-to-neck restraint on Floyd was a tactic that was consistent with Minneapolis Police Department policy, and that the police officials lied during the trial when they said it wasn't part of the officers' training. Chauvin's attorney is raising concerns, too, about the instructions that were given to the jury. Chauvin is currently serving a concurrent state and federal prison sentences, about 20 years worth. He has previously appealed to that state conviction to the U.S. Supreme Court, but they turned back one of those efforts in 2023. And what's going on at this South Carolina prison? A security guard doing rounds at the Lee Correctional Institution in Bishopville, South Carolina, stumbling on a box that had apparently been dropped by a drone into the prison yard. It was packed with steak, crab legs, marijuana, and cigarettes. And to top it all off, a tin box of Old Bay seasoning. Police found that drone, but they don't know who sent it in. Prison officials say it's a constant battle to keep contraband out of prisons. People often toss it over the fence, sometimes use a catapult, and yes, they use drones too. Most of the time, the contraband includes drugs and cell phones. The steak and the crab legs, well, that's a new twist, they said. That is the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Okay. Do I have dead air?
I think so.
Oh, good. Are we supposed? That's good.
Mark Spain.
Dan Mandis here. We're going to tell you about. Was that dead air my fault? Was that our fault, Joan? Because we missed.
No, it's definitely Sam's fault.
All right.
Yeah.
Mark Spain Real Estate. Spend your time with those who matter most this holiday season and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. No showings, no open houses, and the best part is no stress. Dan Mandis here. You know, I always recommend Mark Spain Real Estate in my here in Nashville. To my friends and family, because I can trust they're going to sell their homes hassle-free with a strong all-cash offer. As a matter of fact, we've got, for the Wall Street Journal and Real Trends, to consistently name Mark Spain Real Estate as the top real estate team in America. That says a lot about Mark Spain Real Estate. #1 in closed transactions for now 9 years in a row. That is huge. Mark Spain Real Estate has been helping homeowners sell their homes for nearly 30 years. They've served over 72,000 satisfied clients. 855-299-SOLD is a phone number, 855-299-SOLD. Find them online anytime, markspain.com. Everything. How about the gift of self-improvement with my friends at Contours? Now, check this out. Right now, at Contours, they're offering both their Tennessee famous Belly Buster special and a facial to battle those fine lines, both for just $150. Now, that, my friends, is a huge savings. Now, right now, both their Belly Buster and facial treatments are powered by cutting-edge and effective red light technology. Now, this red light technology, this red light therapy, can help you lose inches across the middle and fine lines on your face. Now, right now, you can get both for just $150, a Belly Buster treatment and a facial. Only $150. That is a great deal. First 10 callers right now, 615-236-9960. 615-236-9960. Get that special price of just $150 for the first 10 callers right now. 615-236-9960. ContoursLLC.com.
See that?
6:37, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And welcome on in.
I think you're going to get some hot water, Dan.
I'm so excited. I'm going to get some hot water. We
Been
are
here at
broadcasting.
an hour and a half. And
It's 6:38.
Yeah.
A full hour and almost 40 minutes into the broadcast. I'm going to get some hot water and maybe some coffee by 9. So it's all good though. It's all for a good cause, Joan.
Yes.
So
I hear.
we're out here at Toyfield, and we're asking that you bring in a toy for an unwrapped toy for a child or a gift for a senior out here at Nissan Stadium. This is really a great deal. 18 years we've been doing it. It is our 18th annual Toy Field Toy Drive. It is sponsored by our friends at A.O. Smith & Wayne's Pest Control, and we are inside the south end zone between gates 8 and 9 of Nissan Stadium until 6 o'clock tonight. And looks like somebody just dropped off some toys, as a matter of fact.
There we go, yes.
That is very exciting. Now, I want to welcome on into the program Matthew Hurt, our grassroots political analyst. Matthew, always great to have you on. And so we've been talking about how the economy is really starting to show signs of life. I'm not Pollyannish about this. I do know that there's still much work to do. But one of the things that Dave Ramsey said, I don't know if you heard me play that audio, but Dave Ramsey said, when you look at the actual behavior of Americans on, for example, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, where we set records for purchases. I know that there's work to be done. I know you know that there's work to be done, but you and I have talked about how there's a possibility that the Democrats may rue the day when they made affordability as the phrase for, heading into the midterm elections because, by some accounts, the economy is turning around.
Dan, I know that hot water is for throat coat tea, and I'm excited because what is happening, Americans spent $11.8 billion on Black Friday, and gas prices are down. Caroline Levitt just yesterday and this morning is sharing gas prices on her Instagram account.
Nice.
And as you and I have talked about for the last couple of weeks, these prices are delayed indicators of the policies of the Trump administration. So when President Trump announces something or when Congress acts to bring down prices in some way, it will take several weeks or sometimes even several months for those prices to actually adjust. And now we're seeing that. And you and I have talked about this affordability issue. The first time you brought it up, the first time you asked about it, I said if President Trump went out and said, I feel your pain, and started to engage in either executive action or moving things through Congress, we would eventually see what we are starting to see now.
Yep.
And this is good news. This allows Republicans in the midterms to take this messaging point away from Democrats and to make it their own, which then eliminates pretty much if you were to look at the top 2 or 3 or 4 issues that a Democrat challenger might run on in the midterms, this takes away the most significant issue that they can run on.
So what do we need to see, Matthew, for the Republicans to be able to claim victory on the economy?
I think lowering interest rates, again, these consumer prices, what people see at the pump, what they see at the grocery store, these kinds of things, where the rubber meets the road on where the average American says this is too expensive or the prices are coming down. And it is at that point that more and more Americans will realize that these are good policies. And I think what has started to happen, those dominoes have started to fall, and they will continue into the spring and summer. And then finally, when voters start paying attention in the general election, this happens late August, September, October, we've now had 10 or 11 months of a slow descent of prices across different economic indicators, and people say, hey, the economy is doing pretty well. My 401k is doing pretty well. These Trump accounts for our children and grandchildren are going to be doing pretty well. And that is all good news. It's good news for the consumer, it's good news for the American voter, and it's good news for Republicans in Congress.
It's interesting. I don't know if you saw, and then we'll move on to other things, but have you heard of I think they call it the Common Man Index?
I haven't.
So the Common Man Index, I talked about this yesterday, it's not an official data point that the government uses, but it is done by, I believe it's a financial house. And so what they do is they look at the things that Americans have to buy, not what they want to buy, but what Americans have to buy. So we're talking about, clothing for children. We're talking about, food, milk, bread, all those kinds of things. And so if you look at the Common Man Index, they will show you that is down. The Common Man Index, those prices are actually down. Now, there's obviously some debate back and forth, but I do find it interesting that depending on what benchmark you are looking at, the economy already does look better. And Matthew, 2026 hasn't even begun yet. And so I think that there are better times ahead. I thought that the messaging is perfect. I was playing some audio earlier from Brooke Rollins. Hopefully people heard it, where she was touting the wins, but she was also acknowledging that there's still work to be done. The last thing the Trump administration wants to do is pull a Biden and try to tell people that they're not feeling what they're feeling.
Well, absolutely. And I'm now looking at this Common Man Index, and there were several spikes in the Biden administration, and those were real impacts on the American people. That's what you and I talk about when we talk about the last 4 years of those Biden expenses and the economy, even into the first several months of the Trump administration. Again, I think this is a significant win. We frequently tell our politicians, or we vote based on what our politicians will promise us and not what the outcomes are. And what we're going to see, like I said, over the next few months is a trend in the right direction for the economy. I want a strong economy regardless of who's president and who's in Congress, but the policies make the difference, and these Trump administration policies and Republican policies are important.
More with Matthew Hurt is coming up next, 6:45. Time to check the roads on WTN. Do you have the weather?
Yeah.
Well, appreciate it. As far as your weather for today, it is going to be very cold right now. It's 27 degrees where we are at Nissan Stadium. Looks like going to have partly cloudy skies today, and a high looks like about 43 degrees. And I appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And Matthew, let's talk a little bit about Jasmine Crockett. And she has now announced that she is running for the Senate. She had some dude doing a rap song at her announcement yesterday. I thought that was an interesting and unique touch. So talk about what do you think her chances are going to be, not only in a primary but in a general election.
Well, she also tweeted a video of her, basically a profile video of her with overlaid with Donald Trump insults playing, and Matt Walsh retweeted it yesterday and said, I actually agree with every word said in this Jasmine Crockett announcement video. This is going to be a real problem for Democrats. There are several states, Maine, Michigan, and Texas, are three states where Senate Democrats Chuck Schumer and Senator Chris Van Hollen from Maryland are sounding the alarm, because what is very likely to happen, we've seen months and months of No Kings protests. We saw Jay Jones in Virginia, a radical who got elected, who made it through. This is going to be a very serious problem for Democrats in states that they must pick up or hold going into the midterms to take the Senate. I'm looking at the Senate map now, and I just mentioned Maine, I mentioned Michigan, I mentioned Texas. Maine and Texas both have Republican senators. Michigan has a Democrat senator. But in all three of those states, Senate Democrats are trying to put their thumb on the scale. This is the establishment on the other side, as many of your listeners will recognize, to try to nominate somebody who is a moderate to appeal to independents and soft Republicans, never Trumpers and others heading into the midterms. This is the only path forward for Democrats in the Senate in 2026. And I think, just by looking at the map, I think somebody like Jasmine Crockett will appeal to the base. She'll appeal to the people who will come out and organize for her and vote in a primary, but she doesn't get much further than a primary election, and she's a turnoff to independents, moderates, and never Trump Republicans in Texas.
But now, okay, so maybe you can help me because I was trying to figure this out earlier. Is John Cornyn in Texas retiring?
I am not sure if he's. I haven't seen any headlines where he's retiring. But what we have here is, there's John Cornyn and there's Ted Cruz in Texas. Both of them are on either side of the establishment and conservative coin for many Texans. And he's got a record and a history in Texas. It's very likely on a generic ballot that he would get reelected handily.
Hey, let's talk about real quick about the gerrymandering that may be happening in Virginia. I was talking to Hans von Spakovsky yesterday about this, and part of what I'm looking at with all of this gerrymandering is we're going to get to the point in some of these states where there's really no need to have a general election because everybody knows what's going on. But in Virginia, you're talking about how right now I think it's roughly 6-5. It could end up 10-1 in favor of Democrats if this gerrymandering actually happens. This is where you live.
You're absolutely right, and Hans is just down the road in Fairfax where he votes. We are at 6-5 Democrat. There are 6 Democrats, 5 Republicans. The Democrats in the legislature are working to redraw those lines. There are a series of legal maneuvers that can take place in April if they pass this. We're still about a month out from legislative session. January 14th is where we're going to see the Democrats quickly pass this because they have a series of hard and fast deadlines. Virginia has 45 days of early voting. You can't play with the dates. You can't add or move elections once early voting is started. And so we're potentially looking next year at a late April date where Republicans can file a lawsuit. Now, the courts are likely to side with Democrats, which would then put an August primary. We normally have a June primary in Virginia. I know Tennesseans are familiar with August elections. We get an August primary, and then we would immediately go into early voting for a general election. And it looks like where I live, Arlington, and where Hans lives in Fairfax, they're going to draw basically octopus tentacles into the other districts and go from 6-5 to 10-1. That is their fever dream for the Democrats, and we're likely to know much more about it in January and then again in April.
How worried are you? Because we all know that Texas got the Supreme Court permission, if you will, to go ahead and do what they want to do. They passed that referendum in California where they're going to be doing the same thing there, gerrymandering. When all is said and done, do we have an indication as to how the numbers are going to play out, whether or not which side will have more of an advantage because of the gerrymandering? Do we know that?
Well, in Indiana chickened out. We've forgotten about Indiana. A couple of months ago, we were certain that Indiana was going to be able to draw most of its districts into a Republican leaning, but then a Republican state senator chickened out, and I don't think they're moving forward on that. I think we're looking at still a very close margin with a slight Republican edge on a generic ballot. But what happens if the economy goes the other way? What happens if these No Kings protesters stay enthused and stay excited? I talked about the Tennessee 7 race with Matt Van Epson and how that margin had narrowed, and that was for a number of reasons. But we saw a 13-point swing in the Democrats' direction in Virginia. And so what it's going to take is for listeners who are tuning in now, who show up to committee events and support for candidates, to do the hard work come summer 2026, to not be complacent. If you agree with the Trump agenda, if you think what he is doing is the right thing and it's good for the country and it's good for the economy, we can't sit on the sidelines in the midterms and let Democrat overperformance swamp some of these R+1 or R+3 districts.
All right, Matt Hurt, always great to have you on. I think that's all the time we have for. Is there anything else? I think I got about 90 seconds left. I hate to do this on the air. Joan, you're futzing with your microphone and it's up.
Oh, making a lot of noise, am I?
You sure are.
Sorry, Matthew.
Matt,
that was up a jacket. It's cold over there, but it's 19 degrees here, and your listeners can find me on X at Matthew Hurt, MattheWHurtt.
All right, very good. We'll talk to you next time. It is 6:52 on Super Talk 99.7. WTN. By the way, tomorrow, just so everyone knows that I'm on top of the news. Not a lot of people are talking to me these days, Joan, about Trump bombing the hell out of those Venezuelan drug boats or anything else. Everybody's talking to me about In-N-Out.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, everybody's talking to me about In-N-Out. Yes, I know In-N-Out is opening tomorrow in Lebanon. So I'm going to be putting out a request to Matt Murphy to get in line early and save me a seat in line, save me a place in line. I want him to get there like 5 or 6. They're going to open,
AM.
I think.
AM is what you're saying, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
AM, and have a hamburger together. You think he'll do it? Do you think he'll show up at, whatever time?
I think you need to offer him a little something extra.
I'll buy him some fries.
Well, gosh, that's nice of you.
I'll buy him a strawberry shake.
How about pay his mortgage for a month?
Yeah. That's okay. It is
No?
6:53 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Got a lot more straight ahead. Dan Mandis here for USS United Structural Systems. Now, listen, this is a great company. They are experts in waterproofing, concrete leveling, and foundation repair. This is a great company. They've helped me several times with my home. That is why I proudly endorse United Structural Systems. I'm one of 30,000 satisfied customers, as a matter of fact. USS, they're not going to charge you for any unnecessary repairs, and you're not going to pay a dime until the work is done and you're a satisfied customer. And they can help you with all kinds of things, including basement and crawl space waterproofing, basement wall stabilization, and foundation repair. We guarantee our best. Call USS at 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, online anytime, USSTN.com. All right, so this is Joan's pick.
Hold
As
on,
you've
hold on.
oh.
Listen, ready? Elf awareness.
So what's the name of the song, Joan? What's the name of this Christmas song?
It's called, what is this called? It's by
The
Crowder.
Elf song.
The Elf song by Crowder.
All right, so this is Joan's pick. You know, we are bucking the company's recommendations, mandates for Christmas music. We're playing our own.
I saw you bobbing your head over there. You like
I
that
was.
one.
You know what, Joan? That was so much better than yesterday's White Christmas. Oh my goodness gracious! So that was good. So well done, Joan.
Thank you.
Hey, we got Brian Wilson coming up, and Sam, if you could, when you're talking to Brian, tell Brian what we're doing, and
Ooh,
see
yeah.
if Brian has a non-company mandated, actually cool Christmas bumper music that we can play. So get Brian's, and I would be interested to know what he would bring to the table. And we are going to talk to Brian Wilson about all kinds of stuff. Coming up next right here, it is Nashville's Morning News, live from Toyfield, Super Talk 99.7. It's so funny. So here's what I'm laughing at.
Yeah.
The heater
We
right
have
next to
heaters.
me went down. So now
You sucked all the energy out of it, Dan. Yeah.
I'm used to that. Anyway, 7 o'clock,
Finished.
WTN.
7 o'clock now. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. President Trump announcing a $12 billion aid package for American farmers yesterday. Happened during a White House event attended by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Agriculture Sec Brooke Rollins, and several lawmakers and members of the farming community. Mr. Trump saying that money to fund the aid package is coming from government revenue raised through U.S. tariffs. The money is intended to, as the president says, get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops. And it'll help continue efforts to lower food prices for American families, too. Now, Rollins said that the farmers can apply for funding in the coming weeks, and it'll be dispersed by February of next year. Now, farmers have lost billions of dollars in soybean sales this year due to a boycott by China. It stopped buying U.S. soybeans in May in retaliation for steep new tariffs by the Trump administration. But the White House said after some negotiations in November that China would purchase at least 12 million metric tons of soybeans in the last couple of months of this year. Some FBI agents who were fired by the Trump administration are now suing to get their jobs back in a federal civil lawsuit filed yesterday in Washington. Those former agents claim that they were fired during the second Trump administration for their efforts in 2020 to head off a riot in the wake of the killing of George Floyd. They say they were unlawfully terminated by the Justice Department for kneeling in 2020. They say they weren't loyalists to the president, and that factored into their firing. Those former FBI agents, by the way, have filed the lawsuit as Jane and John Does. They are not revealing their identity. In Nashville, a man kicked off a WeGo bus and arrested after police said that he drunkenly deployed pepper spray during a ride yesterday. This happened at the corner of Union Street and 2nd Avenue North. 69-year-old Vanell Kane told police that he deployed that pepper spray against another passenger, but it was carried through the air and affected everybody on the bus, including the bus driver, who could no longer see. Kane admitted to the officers that he was drunk and also revealed that he was on felony probation. He's been arrested and charged with aggravated assault. And a guy from California who died aboard a Royal Caribbean cruise ship last year was served at least 33 alcoholic drinks at the ship's bar. His family is suing now. 35-year-old Michael Virgil was his name. He boarded the Navigator of the Seas in Los Angeles last December with his fiancée and their son and immediately began drinking at the bar. Got totaled and then attempted to find his cabin room. The lawsuit said that Virgil ended up being tackled to the ground and subdued with security officers' full body weight. The attorneys say the cruise line deliberately markets its all-you-can-drink beverage packages, and they make sure there's a bar in every nook and cranny of the ship. That is the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
All right, the roadways are piling up this morning. We have a crash with the left shoulder blocked on I-24 westbound before the Hickory Hollow Parkway, exit 60 area, and out in White House, Sumner County, got a crash with the left lane blocked on I-65 southbound past Bethel Road. Talbot's Corner and Davidson still have that crash on the off-ramp with the right shoulder blocked at I-65 north on the southbound off-ramp. And then out in Lebanon, we got a road block due to a crash out at West Main Street, westbound at Hartman Drive. East Nashville, an accident at Ellington Parkway, southbound before Cleveland Street. Berry Hill had that earlier car fire. The right shoulder is still blocked out there in I-440 eastbound. And in Baxter, Tennessee, in Putnam County, closed due to crash on I-40 westbound between Baxter and Gainsboro at Old Baxter Road, exit 276. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
There you go.
7:06, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. Why do I believe that this was Brian Wilson's suggestion as a non-company mandated bumper music? Is it?
Because it's so good. That's why you would think it was Brian
I'm
Wilson's.
telling you. You know, I never heard this song for a lot of years. It's been out there a long time.
Well, what is it? I don't even know
It was
what
only
it
a
is.
few years ago that I heard this song. I said, that is my favorite, non-religious Christmas song.
What is it?
And I still love the old hymns, Silent Night and Oh, Come All Ye Faithful. I mean, I really love those, but just for fun, this song by Elvis Presley is just a ball. It's great.
So I didn't know that was Elvis Presley.
Yep, that's Elvis.
And forgive me because Brian, I have an allergic
Santa
reaction
Claus is coming to town.
Okay, very good, thank you. Elvis Presley, Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa
Very
Claus
good.
is back in town, I think is the actual name.
Got it. Hey, Brian, can I ask, in all those years when you were broadcasting in Washington, D.C., what was the coldest temperature you ever broadcast live from?
I don't. I did. I think the worst one was the Obama inauguration.
Oh, yes.
Because I got sent out at like 5 a.m. for a noon inauguration, and it was so cold. And the thing is that there was just because of security, once you get on location,
Yep.
and they wanted me because there was expected to be about 1 million people on the mall that day.
Yeah.
They thought that they wanted to come to me several times and do live shots from the podium. I was about 50 feet from where they actually took the oath of office. And I had to be there from 5 a.m. until the inauguration. And then they said, but don't worry, after that, we're gonna let you get warm and you get a bite to eat, and then we're gonna put you in a trailer and you're going to be in front of the presidential limo as it goes up, Constitution Avenue, Independence Avenue. And I said, by the time I got to the other end of the avenue, I was frozen like a popsicle. I mean, I was so cold. It took me days to get warm after that.
Well, Brian, it is a balmy 28 degrees out here at Nissan Stadium for Toy Field. It is the 18th annual Toy Field, sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Basically, we're at the stadium, and we're asking people to bring toys for kids or gifts for seniors as well.
Or electric blankets or something.
Electric blankets or a cup of coffee for hosts who don't have any coffee.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's great. It's a great initiative, and it is Brian. It is so cold. And I'm going to be honest, man.
And one of our heaters just went on the blink, too.
The heater, Brian, my heater just went on the blink. So I'm at 28 degrees with no heater and no coffee. Other than that, though, things are going great. Hey, Brian, you know what? As cold, as miserable as I am right now, I will say this. At least I'm not a blown-up narco-terrorist.
Yeah, listen, I'm telling you, there's a new survey out. Once again, the Democrats have taken a position. I mean, they walk right into the Trump trap. I mean, he's brilliant at this.
3D
Takes
chess.
a position that he knows is going to be popular with the American people, but because it's a position that he has taken, the Democrats will automatically be against it. They find themselves defending the people who are running drugs into our country. And so what I saw was the Reagan National Defense Survey just out. 62% of Americans now support the idea of going after the narco-terrorist. So
love that.
again, Trump takes the popular position. Democrats are forced to be in these weird positions where they support narco-terrorists, of all things. They just can't help themselves. They repeatedly keep walking into that kind of trap. And it sort of tickles me that they cannot figure it out. They're just so overwrought by hating Donald Trump that they cannot see how badly they look to the American people.
Well, and so what they're probably going to try to do, Brian, is they're going to try to make this into, well, we're against drug dealers and narco terrorists and all that, but the law is the law. Well, I don't know. Have they come out and actually said that he hasn't broken any laws, at least not that I've been able to see. We're trying to figure out what
they're saying,
happened
well,
with
he's not consulting with Congress and the war powers. Listen, you can go back. Obama took out terrorists without going to Congress. Clinton did it. The Bushes did it. I mean, we have done this around the world. If we find that there's a national security threat, we have in the past, without going to Congress and asking permission, we have taken out that threat. So there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. It's just that we've never done it against the drug trade. But I believe, as the president believes, that these narco-terrorists are a national security threat. And again, 62% of Americans agree with that position.
Well, and here's
it's hard to find 62% of that. If anybody agrees in America on 62% of something,
Well, the thing is, Brian, here's the deal. Even if Trump broke a law, I don't think anybody cares. Take him out. Who cares?
It gets back to this whole War Powers Act, and when you're the president and you use your authority, the other side will always say, well, he didn't. It's not. He's not obeying the War Powers Act. But the fact of the matter is, the War Powers Act may well be unconstitutional, and nobody really wants to have it checked by the Supreme Court because they're afraid. Well, Congress says, well, we don't want to do that because we might lose it. Presidents don't want to risk it because they might lose the power that they have. So it's just this undecided issue. Is the War Powers Act constitutional or not? I don't think that presidents have to go to Congress for limited actions on the national security arena, and I hope that that continues to be the case. Other presidents have done it, and all of this nonsense about, well, Trump's is different. It's not different. It's exactly the same thing.
Let's talk about the Supreme Court. I know that you're watching several of the cases that are coming down. What is the one that most interests you?
Well, yesterday they heard arguments about whether or not the president has the ability to fire members of independent multi-member coalitions or independent agencies, and the 6-3 court seemed to be sort of leaning in a very heavy way toward giving him that authority. If so, that gives the president expanded ability to create the government that he wants to see while he is in office. The case is Trump versus Slaughter, and this is apparently, it could well overturn a 90-year-old precedent. So once again, the president doing what he can to, make sure that he leaves a strong executive in his place.
Well, these agencies, I mean, they do seem to wield a lot of power.
Yeah, I've never thought that it was right for an agency to have so much power that they can't be fired. I mean, somebody's got to have the ability to fire folks if they're not getting the job done. To just be an agency that is untouchable is just nonsense.
Yeah, and though, Brian, if that does come down, what the Democrats are going to start screaming, right? Oh, he's a king, and his, hand-chosen Supreme Court is, giving him more power, and he's going to wield this because he's a dictator.
Yeah, last time I checked, kings are not elected. So,
That is exactly right. We have, it is 7:15. Brian, you and I are going to talk about some burger wars that I think In-N-Out has not even opened, and they're already winning. Details straight ahead. 7:15, time to check the roads on WTN. Very good. As far as your weather for today, going to have highs in the lower to mid 40s under partly cloudy skies. Brian Wilson is joining us. By the way, a balmy 28 degrees here in Nashville's and Nissan Stadium, where my heater is
It's
not
a lovely
working.
72 degrees here in bucolic Watertown in my studio. Just wanted to say that.
Sure. Thank you, Brian. Hey, real quick. So on the same day, tomorrow, that In-N-Out is opening up in Lebanon, in case you folks hadn't heard, tomorrow's a big day. Whataburger has closed 4 locations.
Well, yeah, they're going to, including, this is just blows my mind. It seemed like it was just the other day we were announcing, hey, look, Whataburger's coming to the Nashville area. They have 24 stores in the area, and they're going to close 4 of them, including one in Mount Juliet that I think just is a couple of years. It's just been open a couple of years.
It's only been open, that's right down the road from where I live, and it's only been open for a couple of years, and I don't know.
And the timing, when you see, here's In-N-Out about to open up their first couple of restaurants, and at the very same time comes this story that Whataburger is going to close 4 stores. So yeah, the burger wars are on. And Dan, I just want to, just a polite reminder that you a long time ago promised me that when the In-N-Out burger was there, that you would buy my lunch there, which would be really a nice thing, because I don't think you've ever picked up the check. As long as I can remember, I don't think that's ever.
You know what I'm going to do, Brian? I'm going to buy 2 hamburgers and not going to give you any like the Kid Rock steak. I haven't forgotten that either, Brian.
I'll never live that one down.
I was actually shocked to hear that you have never had In-N-Out.
I never have. I've been to California, and there was another burger chain out there that I sampled that somebody said, you got to go there. But I don't think I've never been to an In-N-Out burger. I'm really looking forward to it.
So when are you gonna do it? Because I'm going to try to convince Murphy Show to show up at In-N-Out tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and hold a space.
Listen, I've got a list of Christmas honeydews as long as my arm, so I can't do this for a few days. But
you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah. But
Brian, I think you need to put your foot down.
But when things settle down a little bit, we'll go.
Sure. Okay.
And you'll buy.
Good. Very good. Hey, real quick, Brian, on the economy, except we got a couple of minutes. On the economy, I believe that things are turning around. I played some audio earlier of some things that are happening that I think are good. I'm overall, I'm just going to tell you, I'm positive on the economy in 2026. And I think that, and I asked this question of Matthew Hurt in the previous segment.
Right.
But I think the Democrats are going to rue the day when they've made the economy their core issue a full year and a half, 2 years before the midterm elections.
Well, Donald Trump is correct when he says that all of the things that are coming your way haven't even started yet. They don't start until 2026. The tax cuts and all of that. This is going to be, you're going to see this economy come alive. I think everybody's going to be watching very closely today to see what the Fed does. The Fed is not supposed to be a political body, but I just keep getting the feeling that they're making decisions based on a political basis and not on what's really going on with the economy. So I hope that we see interest rates come down a little bit. We are right on the precipice. And, sure, are there things that sort of need to have some last minute adjustments? We're doing big things with the economy. So if you need to give the farmers a little money to sort of hold them over while we're in this transition, at the end of the day, once the transition is complete, the farmers are going to be doing well. Our economy is going to be doing well. Everything is poised for a big ramp up here in the coming year. I'm with you, Dan. Very bullish on 2026, and I think that we're going to see all of the things that Trump has been working for are going to sort of congeal at the same time early next first quarter probably, and you're going to see the economy just come alive.
All right, very good. Brian Wilson joining us here on Super Talk. One of the things I noticed was that Susie Wiles is out there saying that she's going to bring Trump out onto the campaign trail. Did you see that?
Yep.
What do you think about that? I mean,
Well,
it's not really surprising, but in 26 and maybe 28 too.
Well, I think he'll be. We need to do everything we can, and he is the guy that has the juice in America. He goes out and he changes the dynamic of races when he makes these appearances. I used to think they didn't really, when somebody comes in to campaign for you, I didn't think many people paid notice. But when he comes to town, it's a dog and pony show you can't ignore. And he does help candidates. So glad to see that. I also am glad to see him getting out on the campaign trail in a different way starting today. He's going to Pennsylvania to talk about the economy and how and try to explain to the American people, yeah, look, it's coming and things are starting to happen. And just look at your gas prices. There's a lot of good news out there. Better news is on the horizon.
Absolutely. All right, Brian Wilson, as always, thank you for joining us. Actually, this is on Tuesday now. We moved you up a day, but thank you for joining us here on Super Talk 99.7.
All right, you stay warm, my friend.
News. Sure, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay warm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
All right.
I think you promised me an In-N-Out burger too.
Did I
Yeah.
just in some
Yeah.
sort of a drunken stupor? Did I just promise everybody In-N-Out
I
burger?
think so. Jackson,
I don't want to be
do you
left out.
remember? Yeah. Okay, and
Yeah.
Sam too. Yeah, Sam's definitely on your list of.
I'm a
In-N-Out
two-burger kind of person.
I'm think all y'all are on crack. That's what I think. By the way, so if you're watching, did the camera catch that? Did you see what happened? So Jackson, I love you, Jackson. Jackson gives me a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And the lid was sort of like off.
Oh, that
And so
could have been a disaster.
Jackson gives me piping hot coffee with a loose lid, and it goes all over my hand. Jackson, oh, I'm so hurt. There's going to be a worker.
Oh man.
Come on, Jack. Everyone remembers the McDonald's lawsuit.
Yeah, right.
I hear workers' comp in my
Right.
future, friends. I'll be nice and warm at home every morning. I'm totally kidding. By the way, we do have some encouragement from the Super Text line, which I just opened up, Joan.
Yeah.
Love y'all, but I've heard high school basketball games with better audio quality than this.
Oh man.
The haters are coming out.
Yep.
The
Ooh,
haters
look.
are coming out.
0384 was also promised an In-N-Out burger by you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody's coming
Oh,
out. Very good. And people are saying, "Oh, you guys look cold." It's like, nah.
Really? Do we look cold? Because we're stinking freezing.
That is exactly right. All right, we got a lot
know
more.
what? My feet are cold.
Your
Are
feet
your
are
feet
cold.
cold
yeah,
on this?
my feet are cold, but you're wearing the big old UGG things or whatever those things are. So yeah, but that's okay. You know what? It's all for a good cause. And Jackson, let's get some video of what is going on over here
I
with
see
the
a bicycle over there with a helmet and everything.
Yeah, we got to keep the bike away from Murphy Show.
Yeah.
Give it a nice a scan. People are walking in front of the camera.
Bunch of soccer balls and
Bunch of
basketballs
soccer balls and
dolls.
basketballs and there's a football there. Joan, you and I could take that football and go down into the Titans field and throw it around.
We could.
Go out onto the field. That'd be a lot of fun.
But the security guards, they've already promised they'd tackle us.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And take us to
You
prison.
could pull
so.
a Lucy on him.
We could. Dan could outrun them anyway.
Or we can go to break. It is 7:23. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan Mandis here from my friends at Zentex, a great way to increase the value of your home. How about a bathroom upgrade from Zentex? A great company. Got a great deal just for my listeners, so stay tuned. How about converting your bathtub into a walk-in shower? Now, they can do that, and again, for listeners to my show, you can get $999 off or 0% interest for 2 years, whatever works best for you. Now, you know that Zentex has won awards for ethics from the Better Business Bureau, and last year they were voted one of the best places to work in the construction industry. And happy employees mean great customer service. Now, remember that great deal. You can get $999 off or 0% interest for 2 years, whatever works best for you. And you mentioned WTN, by the way. You get a free Kohler toilet with your purchase. Find them online, Zintex, Zentex.com. That's Zentex.com.
You sound so white.
That made
Okay,
it on
that's
air.
great.
That made it on air.
Perfect.
7:25. Nashville's morning.
Okay. I'll be fired tomorrow.
Dan Mand is here. And if you need to save money on insurance, check out my friends at King & Associates Insurance. So many of my listeners have reached out and let me know that they've been able to save big with King & Associates Insurance. Now, one guy that I know, his 16-year-old daughter got into a car accident. Now I'm laughing about a car
you
accident.
should not laugh about this.
Oh, my goodness. That was so funny, Joan. He
It's
brings
a crowning
up,
moment of my career.
He brings up Joan just as
Yeah.
she's calling me the whitest man in America. Thank you very much. What? Listen, you're a truth teller, Joan.
I am.
You
I
speak
am.
the truth.
Yes.
All right, now, that guy, his 16-year-old daughter got into a car accident. They still saved him at King & Associates. They still saved him thousands of dollars when the time came for new insurance. Now, at King & Associates Insurance, they know that life happens, and as independent agents, they can find you the best deal for your family. They're going to weed out the non-competitive companies and find the best options for you and keeping the communication flawless. By the way, that coworker that I was telling you about, he figured out that his old insurance agent was charging him for years. So make the switch to King & Associates Insurance. You owe it to yourself to make that phone call. 615-321-8121. 615-321-8121. Find out what the best deal is you can get on your home and auto as a business, family, or individual. 615-321-8121. 615-321-8121. TKinginsurance.com.
It is 7:30 now, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Want to let you know that there is a serious accident on I-40 this morning. It's in the westbound lanes at mile marker 277. This is in Baxter. Tennessee. And we're hearing from listeners that this accident involves a tour bus, and it does include fatalities. Now, the westbound side of I-40 in Baxter is closed off by that accident right now. Best to avoid it if you can. In the news, a big meeting in Washington today. It's Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and General Dan Kane, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They'll be briefing top lawmakers known as the Gang of Eight behind closed doors. Now, this briefing follows the completion of the administration's national security strategy. That's a planning document that spells out America's long-term vision for protecting the nation. Lawmakers, however, are also expected to raise questions about the legality of the military strikes in the Caribbean on those narco boats, in particular the killing of 2 survivors from a lethal attack on September 2nd. An elementary student at Crossville is being charged with threatening mass violence at school. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office said that student made alarming statements to fellow students at Stone Elementary School. No weapons found. No students were in danger, however, and they're not saying exactly what that student said that threatened other students. But officials with the Crossville Police Department, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, and even the Office of Homeland Security worked together to respond to that alleged attack yesterday. The student is being charged with making a threat of mass violence. Metro Nashville police hoping the public are going to help in the search for a man, a Riverside man, who's wanted for murder in Los Angeles. Police are saying 32-year-old Trayvon Palmer and 2 other men approached an LA-based rapper named Christopher Cheeks in an alleyway and tried to rob him. Well, Cheeks was shot to death during that encounter, and one of his friends was wounded. Investigators have arrested those 2 other suspects that were with him. Amir Carroll was 20, arrested in Nashville, and Adrian Cameron was arrested in L.A. in May. Both of them remain in Nashville on first-degree murder charges, but Trayvon Palmer is believed to be still in the L.A. area. Anybody with information is asked to call police or the U.S. Marshals Service. And guess who's staying on your late-night TV? Jimmy Kimmel just signed on to a 1-year extension of his contract with ABC. That'll keep him in the host seat through May of 2027. That is the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Hey, Joan, Dan Mandis here, 7:33, Nashville's Morning News. How do I depend on Xfinity? Let me count the ways. Now, I've got a lot riding on my rock-solid internet from Xfinity. Of course, Riker, homework, all that gaming he does, Amy working all day long from home, and, of course, yours truly, always prepping, always doing shows from my basement studio, and all of that courtesy of Xfinity. And by the way, if something does go wrong, they can make it right with 24/7 customer service for whenever you need it. And with Riker in the house, he's now 12. It's critical that we're able to check out exactly what he's watching, and with Xfinity, you can. You can depend on these folks, so check them out today, online anytime, Xfinity.com, 1-800-XFINITY, or stop by a store today. Dan Mandis here for my friends at DT McCall's, a great Tennessee company. They are here for their fellow Tennesseans with great prices, selection, and value. Now, I've been telling you for years about these folks. They've been helping people out for 4 generations. And if you need it, they've got it at DT McCall's. Indoor furniture, if you've got a room to fill, go to DT McCall's. Appliances, if it plugs in, they've got it. They've always got specials going on to save you money. Now, what you need to do, go to the front page of their website. It is dtmccalls.com. They've got specials and great prices on all the best brands of appliances, like washer and dryer sets, dishwashers, and a whole lot more. They've been at it for over 100 years with a focus on customer service. And if you buy it, they'll deliver it for free and haul away the old stuff. 5 locations all across Middle Tennessee, Carthage, Cookeville, Lebanon, Lafayette, and Franklin. Always online, dtmccalls.com.
Okay, we still have a crash with the right shoulder blocked at I-24 westbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway exit 60, and then in Midtown area, sewer work with one lane open in front of the Vandy Medical and Arts Center at 21st Avenue South, Medical Center Drive. Got a crash out in Williamson County in Cool Springs with the right shoulder blocked at I-65 northbound past Moore's Lane. Rutledge Hill area got an accident on 2nd Avenue South at Lindsley Avenue, and then out in Baxter, Tennessee in Putnam County, I-40 westbound is closed between Baxter and Gainsboro and exit 280 in Old Baxter Road. That is due to a crash involving a tour bus. Reported fatalities on scene. That's going to be closed for quite a while. And then out in Holiday, Tennessee in Decatur County, I-40 westbound is closed due to a crash between Camden and Paris at the exit 216 and exit 116 mile markers. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Appreciate you being here, Dan Mandis, and out here at Nissan Stadium, Titan Stadium, and it is a toy field out here with Joan Jones. 18th annual toy field, the toy drive sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. All we ask is that you bring a toy for a child or a gift for a senior. And let's, if we could, Jackson drew the short straw. Jackson, if we could let people know how many toys are coming in. We've got basketballs now, and we've got soccer balls, and we got a bicycle that we need to keep away from Matt Murphy this year because that turned into an international incident last year. And so you want to come on down to the stadium and bring some toys for kids or gifts for seniors. We would love for you to. Joan and I, we are here till 9 o'clock, and then Chris Hand is going to be here 9 to 12. Chad will be here noon to 3, and then Matt Murphy. A Murphy Show for the ride home, 3 to 7. And Jonathan Fahey joins us right now. Jonathan, always great to have you on. You know, as the guy that was in charge of ICE under Donald Trump, I thought you, of all people, would have a great laugh at this headline. Biden was warned his soft on immigration proposals would cause chaos, but he ignored it. Damning memo reveals. This is, of course, that big story from the New York Times. And I don't know, was there anything, I mean, talk radio, you and I, we've been talking about this for a long time, about the problem with Joe Biden and illegal immigration. So what was the most surprising things that you read in the New York Times report?
I think the most sort of, I wouldn't say surprising, but it's just interesting to see it laid out that we've all been saying they knew, and it was so obvious this would happen. It's almost sort of like another version of the Jake Tapper book, where they're saying things that we all knew were true, but it was still mildly interesting, and also just confirmed it just for a higher degree of certainty. But the fact that they knew about it just shows that it was intentional, which is what we always knew, and we know it was intentional because they thought it would help them electorally in the future, not only with census data that increases Democrat power, but also their goal, which we see now, is to eventually give these people citizens, or even before they're citizens, not put any roadblocks in the way if they decide they want to vote. So it just shows it sort of in black and white how cynical the Biden administration was, how everything they said about immigration was some variation of a lie or a false narrative. Because remember, Mayorkas would go on these shows and be like, we're having worldwide immigration, and basically we were just part of this overall thing where people are moving around at this high rate that wasn't happening before. Instinctively it sounded like nonsense, but he was basically saying it was just something that was going on. It had nothing to do with their policies, which we all knew was false. But again, everything he said about the border was always a lie. Remember, it was on one hand, it's the root cause world where, oh, these people can't get a bank card, so they need to come to the U.S. And then on the other hand, it's like, no, they're asylum seekers, 10 million people fleeing persecution and torture, but no one ever asks the relevant question of, well, who's torturing them? Why don't we just stop that, and maybe this could all end? So it was so much nonsense, but it's so cynical because it speaks so poorly of the Democratic Party, which we all know what their cynical motives are, but it even speaks even worse about the mainstream media, because if you say, take a few people out of the equation, nobody covered this immigration story. You had Fox covering it really hard, Bill Maloogian down to the border, but the rest of the media tried to ignore it, tried to downplay it, tried to minimize it, tried to do all their tricks. You're a Nazi, you're a racist, you're blah, 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 because that's their game, and then they hope enough people will be bullied out of saying something about it. But they've caused such profound harm to the American people because of what they did, and now they're going crazy when Donald Trump wants to remove even the criminals that they let in. It's just so insane.
Well, what's interesting, Jonathan, is that you did have people within the administration that, according to the story, did realize that they were making a big mistake. One of the things that we have since found out about the Biden administration, post-administration, was that he was very protected. He had an inner circle, and that was very difficult to penetrate. And so I think this tells you that, yes, people within the administration knew they were making a mistake, but they stood by and they watched the nonsense, they watched the lies, they watched the accusations of racism, knowing full well that this was going to not only cost the election, which it ultimately did, but also cost America a lot as it relates to either resources or human lives.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the worst part of it all, is like people knew, and I don't really believe anyone didn't really know what they were doing. It's just the people that didn't follow the advice, whoever the president was at that time, which might have been Ron Klain, but they knew, they just played the long game. And I think their strategy was it wouldn't get the attention it would get, and it wouldn't be enough to move the needle, and they could just play the normal games. I think they took a calculated risk, and I think we talked about this before, but the Democratic Party 10 to 15 years ago, I think made a conscious or semi-conscious decision to say, we are abandoning the working class and we are going full-on identity politics, open borders, because you can't be for both, right? It's like the working class gets crushed by illegal immigration in every respect, if it's wages, if it's schools, if it's health care. But they made that conscious decision, and I think they had to ride it, and they're still riding it out now, because every single person that wants to run for president is full-on open borders. I mean, you look at J.B. Pritzker, you look at Gavin Newsom. I mean, they never use the word open borders. They always have euphemisms and stuff, but they will fight like dogs to prevent anybody from being deported. And so we know if a Democrat gets elected in 2028, they're going to reopen the border, because that's what they plan on doing, and we're seeing it. It's just everything we said back in, so many of us were on these shows back in March of 2021 saying this was intentional, here's what they're doing, and, they try to, always shut down people that said that, and they would take them at face value when they would pretend that they're acting in good faith, meaning the Biden administration, in dealing with this issue, which it's so sad because they dealt in such bad faith, knowing that they were harming American citizens who they were there to represent. But unfortunately, the Democratic Party, illegal immigrants are probably one of their most powerful constituencies, if you really think about it. They will never say anything bad about them. They invent these bizarro euphemisms to describe them because they never want to mention the fact that they're illegal. So it's like newcomers, non-citizens. It's such a stream of utter nonsense. And if American people want to say, hey, I want higher wages, I want better schools, I want better health care, they're called racist. It's so shameful.
Well, and not only is it shameful, but I think that you would think there would be a distrust of the entire Democrat Party for what they put us through. The interesting thing, though, Jonathan, and I'm going to jump the traffic, so I'm going to pose this question, then come back to you. But I do find it interesting that, Donald Trump has not even been in office a year, And you now see people are making noise about the midterm elections, and it is shocking that people would ever trust this party again. I've got a follow-up to that coming up next. It is 7:45. Time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather for today, very cold this morning. It's 28 degrees at Titan Stadium, but good news, it's going to be lower to mid-40s later on today under partly cloudy skies. Appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so Jonathan Fahey, when we look at the midterm elections and the presidential in 2028, this is where we take the immigration hat off and put the political analyst hat on. So we all know that the trust with the American people was broken in the Democrat Party regarding immigration. Is it shocking to you that we're starting to see polling where people are siding with the Democrats yet again heading into the midterms?
It's disappointing, but not shocking, because that's typically the way things pan out. You know, the first election of a president's term, it usually goes for the other party. And the main issue, I think, in every single election, that, you know, I don't want to quote James Carville, but it's always economic issues, I think, are always first and forefront. You know, it's economic issues, probably followed by public safety and followed by other types of things. So I think if the economy starts, you know, rocking and rolling, as at least Secretary Besson and other people seem to think at the beginning of next year, hopefully that part of it will turn the tide. But I think that's where people look. You know, can you afford things? How are you doing it? You know, with work or whatever, and as far as wages. So I do think they need to do a very good job of tying the economy to illegal immigration, because it really doesn't get talked about enough. We're always talked about a terrorist coming over the border or somebody that's a killer, but it's also, hey, if thousands and millions of people come over, that means your price of housing is higher, your wages are lower. You cannot see doctors. They don't bring doctors with them. So that means the quality of care and the cost of care both go up, and the quality of schools go down, because if half your school doesn't speak English, where's the attention? Where's the resources going? So all those things, I think, when they talk about immigration, I think sometimes it's easier because everyone can say, yeah, terrorists coming across the border, that's a bad thing, and everyone agrees. But you really have to dig deeper. You look in Minnesota with the Somali community, it's like, is that a net gain to America or a net loss? We should be able to have a serious conversation about these things. And if people really see it for what it is, I think they could see these things tie in. But again, I think it is the economy has to, you know, it's going to be first and foremost. And it's sort of like when people are unhappy, they just vote for the other side.
When you look at what's going on in Minnesota with all of these Somalians, I mean, they're talking about how this could be one of the biggest, certainly the biggest in Minnesota, but perhaps one of the biggest that we've seen in our country in some time as far as the fraud. And you're talking about immigration fraud. You're talking about fraud utilizing those COVID funds as well. Do you think this is one of the things I've noticed, and just give me a second to flesh this out, but you know, when you look at all of the problems with illegal immigration, whether it is the drug dealers coming into our country, the ones trying to come in from Venezuela. We could talk about the Somalians and not only the fraud, but also a lot of this, but also a lot of the resources that they take up. You know, you look at how much how these folks are on a lot of government resources. You're talking about EBT cards and just all those things. And do you think that this is going to be something that ultimately the American people will consider which political party is more passionate about securing our borders and trying to look out for the American people? Clearly, that's the Republicans and not the Democrats. And you can tie all of these policies, the Somalians and the fraud and the illegal aliens coming across our southern border. You can tie all of that obviously to the Democrats. And I just, for whatever reason, I just wonder how much that pierces the psyche of the American people.
Yeah, I think people need to really talk about the quality of life issue with these things. And you look at the Somali fraud, and it's like, we all know when we get to the very bottom or the end of this thing, the truth will be my prediction will be these Democratic politicians turned the blind eye because they didn't want to offend the Somali community. So again, another situation where immigrants are treated better than Americans. But I do think it's like people have to realize that if people are coming in here and taking more resources than they are contributing, those resources come from somebody, and they come from Americans. And it's not mean to say it. It's just true to say it. And maybe, and I think people need to really look at these things. And, the Minnesota, that's probably just a example of something that's going on far more widespread in Democrat cities and states. And this might just be the first example or the biggest example, but my guess it is just an example, and it's very widespread. But yeah, people to come to our country, get all of these resources, and not that the fraud was committed by all of them, but it was very widespread fraud. And that's money that people don't get in their paychecks or their resources or whatever. And I think that's so important for people to realize that you want to say nice, you want to seem nice, but you get to put a sign in your yard saying no humans illegal and all those things. That sign costs you money, and you have to at least recognize that.
Last question. They're talking about investigating Ilhan Omar. What do you think they're going to find if they do?
I don't know. I'm quite interested in this whole thing about marrying her brother that everyone is talking about. I think that would be interesting if there's any sort of immigration fraud. But the other thing that's really interesting is all of these things, and it's just reading from the media, so I don't know, but it's like they talk about how much her net worth increased some staggering amount since going to Congress, which, sadly to say that she's not unique in that respect, but it does, we should look more into it. Like, why do people become rich by going to Congress? We're supposed to, sort of have this citizen legislature. You go and come back and then make money. And it seems like more of these people make money while serving in a supposed public service role than they possibly could make in the private sector.
Yeah, we got in the wrong business, I think, Jonathan Fahey, because I'd be a lot richer if I was a politician. Jonathan, as always, great to have you on Nashville's Morning News. It is 7:53 on Super Talk 99.7. Joan's got the news coming up at 8. Joan, what you got?
All right. Dan, coming up here, some staffing issues still haunting Nashville International Airport. We'll tell you what was going on there yesterday. It's coming up at 8 o'clock here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dan Mandis here. Listen, if you've been putting off getting your vision fixed, don't wait any longer. It's not too late to see clearly for the holidays. Enter my friends at Vision for Life. Don't miss a single smile around the dinner table this year if cataracts or cloudy vision are making your world look blurry. Dr. Horn at Vision for Life can help you see your family and the holidays the way that they were meant to be seen. Dr. Horn performed my lens replacement surgery earlier this year. I can tell you, friends, firsthand the difference is incredible. The procedure takes just about 5 minutes. Recovery is fast. And the results, they are life-changing. I can tell you that right now. Now, there are still some consultations available before the end of the year, but they're filling up fast. So if you want to see clearly for the holidays, call them at 615-436-2020, 615-436-2020. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. Find them online anytime, visionforlife.com. To schedule your consultation today, 615-436-2020, visionforlife.com. Tell them Dan Mandis told you to reach out. 7:58, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. Joan, we've got some great news.
What is it?
Our friends at Embright Credit Union are about to drop off apparently a couple of truckloads versus toys for a bunch of toys. I'm having a hard time. I can't talk in this cold.
The good news isn't that there's coffee and food coming?
No, at 9 o'clock.
But Embright Credit Union,
yes,
is dropping
couple of truckloads
truckloads.
versus of toys.
And just in case
Truckloads
you're wondering, you can keep on trying to practice that. In case you're wondering what we're doing out here, we're at the we're building a field of toys. They've actually made us at like a mini football field, and we're going to fill it up with toys. That all goes to the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. And of course, we need your help with this. We need some gifts out here for the kids. We need some gifts out here for seniors as well. So while you go out this morning, grab a gift, bring it over. Now you don't need to wrap it, so we make it easy. Bring it over and set it here in our field of dreams. And we're gonna collect these all day long. It's gonna be we're here, you're here until 9, and then Chris will be here as well.
No. I'm here until 8:56.
Oh, I see. And then you're going to the Kami Coffee place.
And then I'm going to go to the Kami Coffee place.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Got it. Now you can just drop it off curbside. You can just
you don't
drive
have to come
up.
in and say hi to Joan and I.
Right.
You don't need to fill our hearts with warmth about how much you enjoy the show.
Yeah, don't worry about us.
Don't worry about us.
We sat out here all morning long, freezing our butts off.
Trust me, nobody is worrying about me or Joan around here. Anyway, moving right along. But seriously, come out and drop off a toy. And Chris Hand is going to be here at 9 to 12. And then Chad's going to be here noon to 3. And then Matt Murphy is going to be here 3 to 7. And it's a toy field. Glad to be here, out here at Nissan Stadium. Got a lot more straight ahead. Nashville's Morning News. I want to know what Joan Jones's favorite toy as a kid was.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
So we're gonna do that coming up next.
Eight o'clock now, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. And a Tennessee man's been accused of attacking several co-workers at a manufacturing facility. This happened over the weekend. Smoky Barn News had it, and they're reporting that incident took place on Saturday at a Springfield company. An 18-year-old man hitting his co-workers with a mop, a heavy magnet, and even tried to stab some of his co-workers. The employees managed to tackle him, hold him down until police got there. None of the employees required medical attention, but the attacker did. And then he was booked into Robertson County Jail. Some staffing issues still haunting Nashville International Airport. The FAA issuing a ground stop yesterday due to the staffing issues. It was expected to last from 4 yesterday afternoon till 9 o'clock last night, but it was lifted around 8:30. It appears that things are running okay this morning. Alita Habba has had it with New Jersey. She's stepping down from her post as the temporary U.S. attorney after a federal appeals court ruled she had been unlawfully appointed to her role. Attorney General Pam Bondi accepting Habba's resignation, but she faulted the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit for that move, saying the ruling has made it untenable for her to effectively run her office. Habba will instead go to work as a senior advisor to the Attorney General for U.S. attorneys. Habba's returning to the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey if the Justice Department can successfully win an appeal to the Supreme Court. President Trump announcing that he will allow California-based NVIDIA to sell its advanced H200 computer chips to approved customers in China. That's a boost to the semiconductor giant whose chips are widely used for artificial intelligence. The U.S. government, however, is taking a 25% cut of any chip sales to China, the president saying in a Truth Social post. The deal does not include NVIDIA's more advanced Blackwell system or its soon-to-be-released Rubin system. He said he informed Chinese President Xi Jinping of his decision and that the Chinese leader responded positively. The sales will be carried out under conditions that allow, he says, for continued strong national security. A deadly crash involving a tractor-trailer on the Silliman Evans Bridge early this morning. Police are saying that the driver crashed while traveling east on I-24 over the Cumberland River just after midnight, and they're not really sure how this happened. The driver was trapped inside the cab for a short time. He died in transit to Vanderbilt Hospital. And what do you name a baby born in the parking lot of a Buc-ee's? Well, the answer, of course, is Little Bucky. It happened in Missouri, where Nathan and Jenna Birdsong said they tried to make it to the hospital in the middle of the night, but they only got as far as the Buc-ee's when they were forced to pull over. The baby was delivered successfully. Everyone transported to the hospital. They actually named the baby Elena Grace, but her permanent nickname is just going to be Little Bucky. That's the latest news, and we've got traffic and weather just ahead for you. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Okay, still got a lot out on the roadways if you're making your way into town. Just a reminder, out in Baxter, Tennessee, Putnam County area, I-40 westbound is going to be closed due to a crash involving fatalities in the Gainesboro area. Out in Holiday, Tennessee, in Decatur County, I-40 westbound is closed due to a crash as well at the Camden Paris exit. And then around town, we've got an injury crash reported at Brick Church Pike north of West Trinity Lane, maybe in the Shell parking lot, but expect heavy delays in the area. West Nashville got a crash with the right shoulder blocked at I-40 eastbound at the I-440 exit. Midtown, downtown, there's some sewer work, one lane open at 21st Avenue and Medical Center Drive. There's a crash out in Haywood Lane in Nashville. Also a crash with the right shoulder blocked in Williamson County in the Cool Springs area on I-65 past Morris Lane. And then in Cross Plains out in Robertson County, got tire debris in the right two lanes on I-65 northbound past the Gallatin Cross Plains exit. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.807 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on in, and we are live at Nissan Stadium for Toy Field, 18th annual Toy Field, the toy drive sponsored by A.O. Smith and Wayne's Pest Control. Enbright Credit Union, Joan, I can't wait to see this.
It's supposed to be truckloads, and they're saying plural.
They're going to be bringing truckloads of toys in for needy kids around Tennessee. And also, if you want to bring in a toy for a senior or a gift for a senior, that would be great as well. And If you want to, Jackson, let's turn the camera around one more time.
We're going to survey the goods here.
And survey the goods. You've got your basketballs out there. You've got some Barbie dolls. Were you offended at Barbie dolls when you were a kid?
I was. I love Barbie dolls.
You were not offended by them.
Oh, I was not offended. Oh, heck no.
No, because some people get all weird about the
Yeah.
Barbie dolls these days. I'm not entirely certain why. Because if a little girl wants to play with a Barbie doll, it's all fine, well, and good.
Dressing up your dollies. I mean, it was great fun as a kid.
What did you play with as a kid? Like I'm right now eyeing the Nerf football. And I would like to at some point throw that Nerf football, because I used to play with Nerf footballs and baseballs and all that kind of stuff. They didn't trust me with the actual sports equipment.
We didn't do those, but we did the guns. We had a lot of the Nerf guns.
Nerf guns are always good.
Man, they're fun.
Yeah. Jackson, could you ever make a slinky work?
No, I was horrible with anything that required like a lot of brain power.
I'm right there with you, man.
My favorite Christmas toy. I got some Hulk hands when I was like 5.
Some what?
Hulk hands.
Hulk hands.
I had Hulk hands.
Like
when
the
I was
Incredible
5.
Hulk.
Yes, that was one of my favorite Christmas toys.
Nice.
And what did you like beat up your brother or sister with him, or you were an only child?
No, my sister's like 8 years older than me, so I would try, but she was still like I was like 5 and she was like 13, so she could stiff arm me pretty good. But
but when she was 19, you were 14, and she had good-looking friends.
Yeah, you're right.
There you go. See, I know how it works.
You don't know how to math.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
It didn't work.
Is that not right?
When I was 14, she would have been 22.
Even better.
I don't know.
Whatever.
That's a Rob in the Cradle moment. Okay.
A felony.
Could you make the slinky work ever? Like make it go down the stairs like the commercial?
Yes. We had a lot of slinkies.
Did you? You could actually make a slinky work?
Did you ever see the ones that you pull along? It was like the hippopotamus with the slinky in the middle.
Yes, I remember the commercial.
Yeah.
Okay, I could never make a slinky work. My favorite toys as a kid, like little dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I had little plastic dinosaurs. You ever play with those, Jackson?
I had the little army men.
Okay.
Same premise?
Yeah, my dinosaurs would eat your army men.
That's fair.
So
there is. I mean, it depends on the rounds they're using.
There is that, but toys. When we were younger, toys were meant more. Here's my official talk show host take. When we were kids, toys meant more to us now than toys to kids today, because kids today don't necessarily play with as many toys as we did when we were kids.
Right.
Like we didn't have video games, and we didn't have, all of the things that kids do today. I remember. How old were we when, hey, Sam, if you're there, when did Atari come out? Like Atari Asteroids and Pac-Man and all that stuff?
I thought you were going to say the ball and the stick.
No. When did the
wheel and the stick?
Funny.
When did Atari come out? Did you play Atari as a kid?
I did.
Oh, man. Adventure, finding the stupid key and all that stuff. Remember all that?
Yeah.
So my brother and I would always fight over the toys. He was 2 years older than me.
1972?
That doesn't sound right.
The Atari, the home video game console was launched in September of 1977.
Yep.
Okay, 1977.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was about the time I was 10. So we were able to get, Atari and Pac-Man and all that kind of stuff when we were 10. But, I mean, I don't think those toys were as addictive as the toys, as the games that people play now.
Well, I think they've
now.
learned, how to make the algorithm so that you can't stop. You can't stop.
Oh,
yeah, you're closer to that age. That algorithm, man, they can be addictive.
I don't know about algorithm as much as quality. You're talking about a game system that at best operated at like 5 megabytes. And now the Xboxes and PlayStations have a whole terabyte hard drive.
Wow.
Well, yeah, because when you play, do you know what's so funny? You ever play Plants vs. Zombies?
Yes. I played it on my phone when I was a kid.
Okay, you played it on your phone. How about you, Sam?
Yeah,
Plants vs. Zombies?
Played it on consoles before, yeah.
So the first time young Riker ever got mad at me, this is actually kind of funny. the first time he got mad at me, I think it was about 2 years ago. He wanted me to try playing Plants vs. Zombies. I couldn't figure out how to play it. Like, I didn't.
I've never heard of this game.
You plant the plants and they fight the zombies.
You got to like set up your plants.
Yeah, different kinds.
And they shoot at the zombies.
Oh, I
to
see. Yeah.
Defeat them.
Okay.
And there's different levels and different obstacles.
So Riker got annoyed with me because I couldn't figure out how to play the stupid game. And it was the first time he ever actually showed like true little, I think at the time 9-year-old emotion and irritation with me because I kept letting the zombies win. So
y'all ever go head to head in any games? Any video games?
No. He would kill. I wasn't. You know what? I wasn't even into video games when I was a kid. Like I wasn't into them. So then, to get me to sit down and play, Plants vs. Zombies. I mean, it's not in my DNA. Silly Putty though, people are texting in their favorite.
Silly Putty, yeah.
Silly Putty was good.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh's still a thing, but now they have cool things like. You can roll out a pizza with them and make noodles. And,
Well, they've had that.
Cool
It's just
stuff.
now the dough's not as toxic.
It was toxic?
Oh, yeah.
That explains a lot.
Kids would eat it.
Play-Doh?
Oh, yeah.
Play-Doh was toxic?
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
you're not supposed to eat it.
I sniffed it a lot.
I think you're fine.
At 50, almost 58, I think I'm going to be okay. What smelled better, Play-Doh or Silly Putty?
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh?
I can remember the smell of Play-Doh.
I think they
can't
had
remember the
scented
smell.
ones.
We bought Play-Doh for Riker one time. He caught me sniffing the Play-Doh. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, 7. What are you doing? I'm sniffing the Play-Doh, man. And I stuck the Play-Doh in his nose
To get him addicted.
to
Okay.
sniffing the Play-Doh. I was then forever known as Play-Doh sniffer. It is 8:15. Time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather goes, today it is going to be, it's going to warm up. Highs in the mid to upper 40s. I should say lower to mid 40s. I don't know. Right now we've got a little bit of sunshine poking through. We've got, 28 degrees here still in Nissan Stadium. Toys are starting to come in, though. It's very exciting. Our WTN listeners, Jackson, do you know if WTN listeners are bringing stuff in? Bringing in toys? I'm just seeing a lot of toys coming in.
Lots of toys. I believe this might be the truckloads
that we were waiting
Is this
for.
is this the truckload?
From
like there's a
Enbright
long
Credit
line.
Union? Yeah.
And there's
Any
a line of
Legos?
cars. And there's a line of cars out there.
There's a
All right,
line
very
of
good.
cars.
All right. Well, it's not just us out here. We've got 92Q and the sports station is out here as
Right.
well. We're all getting through the broadcast together. Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs, yeah.
What is Voltron? Somebody said 6776. Do you know what Voltron is?
You don't know what Voltron is?
I don't know what Voltron is. Apparently,
Is that the bad guy in Avengers?
I don't know. I've never heard of Voltron. Do you know what the?
No, it was okay. So like pre Power Rangers, it was like the first robot that you had to put different pieces together. Like every character had their own little vehicle, and they all came together and made one robot based on the TV series from the 80s.
Okay. I
the
didn't.
one knowing that.
That is.
Nope. Nope.
Defender of the universe.
No, one of the things when I was a kid, I always wanted a bike. I don't know if kids are kids riding bikes much these days. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Riker didn't ride a bike.
He doesn't ride.
No.
Wow.
No, he just and it's not. I mean, he's
You know what
he's
else
doing
would be-
games and all kinds of stuff with his brain, but he's not. He's not into riding bikes.
One of the other things that kids used to love is skating. I mean, didn't you have your inline skates and?
Oh, I totally was a skater.
Yeah.
I
Kids
would
don't
go.
skate anymore at all.
You know what? I bet you, Joan, I could put on a pair of skates right now. Is there any skates? Oh my gosh, is there any skates over there? I bet you I could put on a pair of skates right now, not inlines.
Okay, regular skates.
Regular
Yeah.
skates. I bet you I could skate right now. Jackson, there any skates over there? You think they'd frown upon me skating around Nissan Stadium? Probably. They probably would.
The powers that be might, but I would get a kick out of it.
So, but yeah, I used to love skating and bike riding and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Apparently, kids still go to the skating rink.
Oh, okay.
I was
That's
talking to
cool.
Amy about that. How old are you, Jackson?
I'm 25.
You're 25?
Ever been
Yeah.
to a skating rink?
I went when I was a kid, but never after that. I feel like probably I haven't been to a skating rink since the age of 10, probably.
Wow.
Oh,
Did you ever? And don't ask me how I know this, but did you ever notice the DJ in the skating rink sounded a lot like the DJ in a strip club?
Yes.
I see. Sam knows.
I went as
Okay.
a teenager, and like it was still of a thing. And we'd go and they'd play the classic rock and everything, and have the lights going.
It's
Which
like
My problem with this is that y'all know what it sounds like to be in a strip club.
no, I don't. I just
Yeah.
it was just a.
No, I think you gave yourself away.
Well, so it's like, hey, it's time for all skate. And it's
next
a
up
center
on the dance
stage.
floor, there's Cinnamon.
That's exactly right.
Oh my goodness.
In fairness to me, it's been many years.
Always played the cha-cha
Since
slide.
you've been in a
Both.
strip club?
Both.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying is both.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I actually.
Now I'm curious to know which one you moved more in.
Anyway.
Or which one you got more injured?
Yeah. Dan, we're not laughing at you.
You actually are.
No, we're laughing with you,
All
Dan.
right, very good.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving. You know what? Who's the idiot that brought up strip clubs? Oh, was that me?
That was you.
Strip clubs at Toyfield. Probably not the conversation we're supposed to be having.
No. You sound so white.
Brought to you by the good people at Enbright Credit Union. All right, moving right along. Let's see here. Rubik's Cube. Could you ever solve the Rubik's Cube, Joan?
Never. No.
Jackson, could you do the Rubik's Cube? Were you ever able to do that?
No, I would peel. I got one when I was 6 or 7, and I peeled the stickers off and put them back
You
on.
cheated, Jackson.
Oh my gosh, that is total cheating.
That's a lot of brain power.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's brain power.
I got
all
a
right.
classic for you, the Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh, I
They
had
were
an
the
Etch-a-Sketch.
best. They were the best.
I loved Etch-a-Sketch. The Etch-a-Sketch was you just sit there and would you do? I try to do.
Yeah.
I would try to do because everything for me when I was a kid was about dinosaurs. Right.
Really? You were
oh,
a
yeah.
dinosaur kid.
I was. That's what I
Yeah?
said. I said I had little plastic dinosaurs. That's what I
Okay.
played with, and one of the first things I got Riker when I met him when he was 3, he's now 12, was a bunch of plastic dinosaurs.
Wow.
You know, want to know how much you played with them?
None.
None.
None at all.
Could not get that kid addicted to dinosaurs. I wanted him to be addicted to dinosaurs. But now, it's funny because I'm looking at all of these toys over here, and I do wonder if, and this is great that we're bringing these in for these, for the needy kids in Tennessee. I wonder if how many of these toys these kids have actually seen or played with, in their travels. Because I don't know if a lot of kids play with toys anymore. I mean, I guess 2, 3, 4, 5 they do, but once you get to the gaming age, what is the official gaming age? Is that like 10?
See, I think it depends on how you parent.
How you parent.
Yeah, how
of
you
course.
parent. I mean,
Yeah.
my grandkids aren't allowed to touch. They're not even allowed to watch TV. It's all about hands-on play.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How old are they?
This is the 2.5-year-old.
Okay, and they're not allowed to watch TV at all.
Sometimes a half hour, probably once a day.
Yeah, we had when Riker was growing up, we had Legos. I mean, it was amazing. He would have Legos and Lego trains and so forth from his room all the way across the floor and around the chair, underneath the table. It would be all over the house. And Bandit is like looking around going, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to walk around all this stuff? He and I one time, we had such fun. We pretended that Bandit was a dinosaur, like a monster.
Yeah.
And the monster of the dinosaur, which was Bandit, was trying to, destroy the trains and destroy like Tokyo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in our house, we had a lot of fun with the games. Once that gaming hits where they start playing video games and stuff, and it's just, I'm not going to say it's bad because it's not because he's using his brain.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you're not using your brain when you're, playing with toys with your hands. But I mean, when you're gaming, it fuels a lot of creativity, a lot of teamwork, and it really does something that helps your mind learn how to problem solve. So I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit here and say, oh, the damn kids and their stupid games. I think those games are valuable as in development as long as they are playing the right games and you monitor what they're doing.
Well,
Light Bright.
The studies
remember Light
show
Bright?
cognitive
Light Bright.
function improvement.
I do. You remember Light Bright, Jackson or Sam?
I don't
Yes.
like right.
Light Bright?
Yeah.
I loved Light
Me
Bright.
too. That was a good one.
Light Bright was awesome, and Battleship. We played.
We played Battleship.
Amy and I played Battleship.
So now, when you were young, did you have the kind that didn't have the electronic board?
No, I never did the electronic board.
Okay, good.
Never did do that.
How about
old
this
school.
game? How about Operation?
Yeah.
Played Operation.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's how I knew that I could never become a surgeon. So I ended up in radio, broadcasting live in 27-degree weather. If I was only better at Operation.
You wouldn't have to sit out here in this cold weather.
All right, Toy Field, 18th annual Toy Field. Please bring out some toys. Do they still have Light Brights, by the way?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I wonder how many of our classic old toys that we used to have fun with. I wonder how many of those are still available. But if you want to bring out some toys, bring some unwrapped toys for a child, maybe a gift for a senior. We're building a field of toys to benefit Salvation Army's Forgotten Angels program. So if you want to drop off a toy today, that would be great. And again, or a gift for a senior. We are all here out till 6 o'clock. Murphy Show is going to be here from 3 to 7. Chris is going to be in at 9. Chad is going to be here at 12. And we'd love to see you come out. Appreciate you listening. Toy Field, Super Talk, 99.7 WTN. Well, you know what? We've got a couple of weeks before Christmas, and Brentwood Jewelry is here for you. Brentwood Jewelry, you know what I love about their expanded hours, Joan? What I love about Brentwood Jewelry's expanded hours is they know how guys are, right? Because
Last-minute guys?
We know that,
Yeah.
guys are, they tend to be at times last-minute shoppers. And so if you need some support from Brentwood Jewelry, they are here for you with expanded hours heading into Christmas. So right now, they've got Christmas hours Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5, and 1 to 5 on Sunday. That is through Christmas. And so if you want to get your spouse or whatever, a watch, a cufflink, or a necklace, earrings, they've got everything at Brentwood Jewelry at great prices and great selection as well. Brentwood Jewelry, again, expanded Christmas hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5, Sunday, 1 to 5, through Christmas. For over 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Brentwood community with exceptional style, exceptional deals every single day. It's a family-owned business. They're a family-owned and operated business. Again, they're spanning 3 generations in Middle Tennessee, deeply rooted in the community, from Salem Service and Special Forces to his son serving as local firefighters. The Amamali family is dedicated to giving back in a time that it is imperative to support local. Shop with my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. Check them out online, brentwoodjewelry.com. ahead, say that on the air.
Good morning. It is 8:31. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. You may have been hearing about the closure on I-40 westbound in Putnam County this morning. It was an accident that occurred at mile marker 277. News Channel 5 reporting that crash involves two commercial vehicles, one empty tour bus, and a passenger car. Now, at this time, there is one confirmed fatality. All the occupants have been transported to hospitals. Police say the roadway may be closed for a stretch of time. A Lawrence County School Board member in trouble with the law, accused of violating an order of protection against his ex-wife. Dr. Noah Chad Shannon, who was arrested before Thanksgiving, now accused of contacting somebody who worked with his ex-wife, stating that he would financially ruin her if that protection order wasn't dropped. Police say Shannon turned himself in to the Lawrenceburg police. He's been charged with a violation of an order of protection. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, again, seeking to overturn his conviction in the murder of George Floyd and get a new trial. Chauvin's attorney filing a petition. It claims that the physicians who served as expert witnesses during his trial gave faulty testimony about the cause of Floyd's death. That filing specifically raising questions, too, about the use of video evidence. And the court filing also claims that Chauvin's use of the knee-to-neck restraint on Floyd was a tactic that was consistent with Minneapolis Police Department policy, and that police officials lied during the trial when they said it was not part of the police officers' training. And what's going on at this South Carolina prison? A security guard doing rounds at the Lee Correctional Institution in Bishopville, South Carolina, stumbling on a box that had apparently been dropped by a drone into the prison yard. It was packed with steak, crab legs, marijuana, and cigarettes. And to top it off, there was a bin of Old Bay seasoning in it, too. Police have found the drone, but they don't know who sent it in. Prison officials say it is a constant battle to keep contraband out of prisons. People often toss it over the fence. Sometimes they catapult it in. And yes, drones are being used more often now, too. Now, most of the time, the contraband includes drugs and cell phones. The steak and the crab legs, they say, that was a new twist. That is the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Okay, as Joan mentioned in her newscast, we do have that road closure out on I-40 westbound in Putnam County. Also, I-40 westbound is closed in Decatur County between the Camden and Paris exits, or the Camden-Paris exit and Natchez Trace State Park exit. Also have an injury crash at Whites Creek Pike before Morgan Road. Got a crash with the left shoulder block at I-40 westbound at Elm Hill Pike overpass. And in Metro Center, a crash at Clarksville Pike, Rosa Parks Boulevard. A reminder from Midtown downtown that there's sewer work with one lane open in front of Vandy Medical Arts Center. That's going to be going until about 4:30 today. And then a crash out at I-65 northbound at Armory Drive, exit 79. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Supercenter. And the weather in Middle Tennessee can get crazy, which is why you need a backup home standby generator from my friends at the Generator Supercenter. They are the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. You can get a free quote and get peace of mind when you have one installed. The Generator Supercenter does feature expert installation, 24-hour monitoring as well. They're not going to leave you in the dark. And yes, financing is available. Check them out, 615-879-1952. 615-879-1952. Find them online anytime. Generator Supercenter of Nashville.com.
Oh.
Oh. Are we back? Is this what we're supposed to be doing here?
This is a song. This is a Christmas song.
Oh, I'm
Dan.
sorry.
It's ruining the Christmas spirit for me.
Do you think?
I think so.
What is this?
That's Justin Bieber.
You don't like
Mistletoe.
the Biebs?
That's Justin
You know what?
It sounds like a girl.
No, listen.
He used to.
I have admitted at times to being a believer. I like Justin Bieber. I think Amy likes him, and she turned me on to him, and I like him. He's a great talent, Justin Bieber. So that makes me a believer.
You are a believer.
A believer.
True believer.
Hey, I want to thank the folks at Integrated Production Solutions. Social media handle, ips.live. They've dropped off a big old truckload of toys.
Isn't that so cool? Look at that.
They were pulling up as I was pulling up. Looked like a good group of guys. This is an amazing setup that we have here today.
Yeah.
Down here at Toy Field.
Yep.
You like this?
You guys undersold how cool this is.
Did we, Chris?
Yes.
Did we undersell this?
Did we oversell the fact that we were freezing our faces off?
I feel like that was accurately sold.
Yes, okay. I thought so too.
27 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, that's great. Integrated Production Solutions at ips.live. Franklin, Tennessee is where they are, and that is really, really awesome, though. So
that means that they had their employees bringing things in. They collected them in a box and loaded them up in a van and brought them all over. I love that.
I do. And we got people, finally showing up. We got a couple of truckloads coming in here in the next couple of minutes as well. So this is great. It's interesting, Joan. We're talking about Light Bright. There's a Light Bright right there.
No way. Oh, yeah, there is.
There is. There's a Light Bright.
I'm just going to warn parents against the Light Bright.
But why?
Because those little pegs, they get everywhere.
Well, so do Legos.
It's a mess waiting to happen.
Legos get everywhere, too.
I know.
Yeah.
I wish we never started the Legos.
Do you know how many Legos I have stepped on as a young father and then an older stepdad? Oh, my gosh. And the just 2 o'clock in the morning, you're trying to find the bathroom and you step on a Lego.
Feels so good, doesn't it?
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, really doesn't. But this is a great cause. And this is the first year that we have actually broadcast live out here at the at the full show.
Yeah.
So it's the first year. So I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. Yeah.
I think business is about to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Chris.
Good for you, Chris.
It was rocking at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Joan, it was a party.
We
I
almost
believe it.
got tackled on the field.
Really?
Yeah, because Chris, Dan
Dan?
wanted to go. Yeah, is your name Dan?
Yes, Jane.
Okay. He wanted to go down on the field, right? So he was haranguing the security people to go down on the field. That's why when you go over there now to the bathroom area, they've now officially roped off the area that he was.
They literally roped off an entire area because I was.
He's threatening.
I wasn't threatening. I was just saying, can I go down onto the field and try to kick a field goal?
And they
There's a
said,
football right over there. There's
they
a football. I could use that football and go down on the field and try to kick a 20.
and they said no.
Yeah. They
Oh,
said
no, they
no.
not only
Did they-
said no, but it was like, get off of it, buddy.
But did they know how viral that video would go when you shanked it?
Obviously not, because they had no sense of humor whatsoever.
One of the texters texted in and said, if you go down on the field, you have to stay out of the end zone because not even the Titans are allowed there.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's brutal. But that's actually, that's truth in
Yeah.
texts.
Yeah.
Truth in texts. So yeah, there's a lot of cool toys out. But you were not a fan of the Light Bright, so your kids had a Light Bright.
We've had the Light Brights. We've had mini Light Brights too. Have you seen those?
Mini Light Brights. I have not
Yeah.
seen mini Light Brights.
Yeah, they're like little teeny tiny ones for a road trip.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
For a road trip. So in the car.
That's what they say. I wouldn't recommend.
I would not recommend it either.
At least there's no conspiracy theory associated with them.
I don't have any conspiracy theories when it comes to Light
Okay,
Brights.
all right.
You
I see
have-
Bluey and Bingo.
Yep.
You have a conspiracy theory on some toys, Chris?
Have you heard of the Labubu doll?
Yeah.
I have heard of the Labubu doll. I don't know.
It's very demonic.
Yes, it is demonic.
Yeah, and it's based on like old school demons.
It reminds me of voodoo.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
here for you, Dan. I'm just looking out for you guys. Don't do the Labubu.
Well, so what if somebody walks
I don't know if it's true. It's just not worth the risk.
Listen though. What if somebody walks in with a Labubu doll to donate to these wonderful children? What are you going to do? You're
going to say 104.5 The Zone is right over there.
Yes.
That's our sister station. 92Q is also here.
Connect 4.
Connect 4 is a classic.
We had fun with Connect 4 in our house with my kids and then with Riker as well. And one of the first things we actually did as a family is we played Connect 4. So
I like that. Have we seen any Stretch Armstrongs today?
No.
I have not seen a Stretch Armstrong.
I see it. Spider-Man. Is that a
Okay.
stretch Spider-Man?
No, that doesn't
No?
look like a Stretch
All right.
Spider-Man. It's not the same, Joan.
Right.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not
I
Stretch
see.
Armstrong.
Got it.
So, Chris, tomorrow's the big day.
Tomorrow's the big day. What's tomorrow?
In-N-Out is opening.
So, all right, and it's opening on the 12th in Murfreesboro. It kind of blew my mind that it was opening this quickly. Was it supposed to open this quickly?
Dude, it has been years in the making. What are you talking about?
It feels like it took only a few days.
No, it really, no, it doesn't. This has been 13 years in the making. My first day on WTN, I said, In-N-Out's got to come here. And it's gonna make it my mission to get them to come out to Tennessee.
And it was all because of you.
It's all because of me.
Certainly.
And
That's
I saw you said that it was already impacting other burger spots.
Whataburger.
What a burger, 4 down.
Murfreesboro is losing its Whataburger.
Which one?
Medical Parkway.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that one doesn't do any business. But there's like 3 of them now
Okay.
in Murfreesboro.
So maybe there was a little oversaturation.
So
Maybe.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm asking. I'm challenging Matt Murphy to get his ass up early and go to In-N-Out in Lebanon and get in line, and I'll be there by 10.
Can I also just rehash that you invited everyone to be the first person with you in line, and now you have changed the invitation where you're challenging Matt Murphy, who I'm pretty sure you invited to go with you, to go alone and get in line.
And bring one for him.
And bring one for you.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna get in line, and then I will join him at 10 o'clock. They open at, I think, 11.
Okay.
So if he wants to get there like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and get in line, I think he should do that. It's for the bit. It's for the, if nothing else, it's for the bit.
It's for the bit.
Yeah, he can call up and he can do a live report from the In-N-Out line.
You
We
sound
actually
so
had a
white.
guy call 5 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. Guy called up because I was actually openly wondering, is there anybody already in line for In-N-Out tomorrow? And a guy drove by, and there, not only was there no one there, the lights weren't
lights
even
are all
on.
out.
That's hilarious.
But I'd be the guy with an In-N-Out, napkin shoved into my shirt, just waiting for that,
This is a big deal. People are excited.
People are big hype, man.
Big
hype.
Big hype. That's exactly. So do you think Murphy will do that? You think Matt will do that for us?
Probably not. I would say we'd have a better shot getting his producer Jackson to do it.
Yeah, I don't think Jackson
says no. Yeah, he's sleeping.
Yeah, poor Jackson's been up for like hours and hours and hours
and he's
and hours.
working until 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you got a marathon today, man. Yeah.
So people are very excited about In-N-Out, and I'm trying to decide. Amy was In-N-Out fan shaming me yesterday.
Was she?
Yeah, she said, if you're really a fan, because I was like, oh man, do I get off at 9? I'm gonna go down there at, they open it. I think look up and see what time it opens. I think it's 11. But she said if you're really a fan, you would go and you just wait in line for hours on end. But I don't know if I want to wait for hours on end.
Matt Murphy just texted and he said he did this bit with Mac Maury and Whataburger 3 years ago. Take it from me, not worth it.
Well, Matt, number one, it was Whataburger and not In-N-Out. Number two, you sent Mac Maury to Whataburger on company time.
It's true.
And putting the radio station at great risk from an insurance perspective, and then Mac Maury came back with the food. What I'm asking you to do, Matt, is go and get in line at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you can do live reports from the line, and then I'll join you at 10 o'clock, and I'll buy your burger at 11. Think you'll do it?
What time do you buy mine?
I don't buy for ladies named Jane.
Oh.
He's married, Jane.
Anyway, so yeah, I have a mandate planned with both Matt Murphy and Brian Wilson. Apparently,
Okay.
I'm like an In-N-Out whore.
You do. It does. You're lining up all of your mandates.
All of my mandates, and I feel like I'm leaving you out. But you've had In-N-Out.
Oh, I've had In-N-Out plenty of times. Don't worry about me.
Brian has been all over the world when he was, covering presidents and so forth. He's never had In-N-Out.
He's never had one.
That feels like a missed opportunity for one Brian Wilson.
Well, yeah, so he and I are going to, at some point, and I tried to talk him into, showing up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He also would not do it.
He wouldn't wait in line for you?
Wouldn't wait in line for oddly enough, he wouldn't wait in line.
I have a feeling if somebody did wait in line for you and you showed up at the end, there would be a lot of booing and hissing from the people in line.
And I just wave.
Very upset as you make your way to the front.
Yeah.
And I'd say, it's okay, I'm Chris Hand.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect.
Do you know what Amy actually said to me? She said, I need you to prepare yourself because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be going, meh.
About the burgers?
About the burgers, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There will be contrarians. There's contrarians.
I don't think there will be.
Oh, you
think
silly
it's all
man.
that?
Oh.
I think it's going to be all positive.
Do you know what?
Overwhelmingly positive.
Okay.
93.7.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Culver's.
Yeah.
Compare them for me.
No comparison.
No?
No, Culver's isn't bad, but
Culver's isn't bad.
In-N-Out is just light years ahead.
Yeah, Culver's also smashes their burgers into a thing of butter.
Yeah. There's something about that.
Settle this debate for me. Is McDonald's and In-N-Out, are they competitors? Yes
no,
or
they're
no?
not even on the same planet.
Thank you.
They're not even on the same planet.
I hope my wife is listening because she and I got in this big long discussion about this.
I would put In-N-Out closer to a Five Guys than a McDonald's.
Okay.
I mean, and there's no offense to McDonald's.
No.
They're good. It's just it's not the same thing.
Five Guys is overrated.
Five Guys is not overrated, but at Five Guys is also no In-N-Out.
It is overpriced, Five Guys.
They are.
We actually, do you know what's so?
You pay for the peanuts.
Yep.
We stopped going to Five Guys because it was too expensive. That's how we ended up going to Culver's.
Well, it's like one cheeseburger and fries, and you're like $30. You're like, what happened?
Yeah, we're like, you know what? This is good. This ain't that good. So we actually stopped going to Five Guys. We ended up going to Culver's, and that was our Friday night tradition for a long time. And now, the thing that blows is there's no In-N-Out really close to me in Mount Juliet. Like I don't even know if they've got one going up in Mount Juliet.
The guy who was beating the war drum, they didn't even put one near his house.
No, they didn't even call me.
I got one near my house.
Do you?
I do. Super close.
Super close.
Super close?
I can walk. We got another text from Matt Murphy. He said, okay, Dan, I have very carefully considered your very generous offer for me to stand in line for 5 hours in the freezing cold. And after consideration, hell no. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
You know what, Matt? I would do it for you.
Would you? Do you think that there's going to be people that are like, I'm not going to wait in line. I'm going to do Uber Eats or DoorDash, and then they're going to get their orders stolen?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
But you know what? Then
That's
you're not
no good.
Then
That's
you're not
no good.
getting the hamburger goodliness.
Fresh.
Yeah, it's got to be fresh.
Hot.
Fresh and hot.
There will be people doing
Yeah,
DoorDash, though.
surely.
Yeah, but you can't judge In-N-Out on a DoorDash timetable. You know what I
I
mean?
doubt they'll turn it on. When a restaurant opens like that, they're going to run drive-through and they're going to run the counter, and it'll be a few days before they turn the apps on and start doing deliveries.
Perhaps.
Yeah, and that's actually smart. You know, they've actually flown people in from other cities to make sure that this goes off without a hitch.
I did it with Waffle House.
They brought in like their own cows, right? They bought farmland and they're harvesting their own cows here. Have you heard that?
Here in Tennessee?
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've heard that from a few people in Murfreesboro.
That they're
Yeah, I thought you would be able to confirm the reports since you're Mr. In-N-Out.
Mr. In-N-Out.
No, I have not heard that they are harvesting cows in Tennessee.
Yeah, they that's what took them as long as it did to get up and running. They had their own cows. You Googling? I swear. I'm not making it up. A friend told me.
Joan is challenging the fake newsworthy of your comments.
Challenge. I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure.
Well, no. I'm 100% sure that's what I was told. But I'm pretty sure I believe it.
Okay. In fact, you know what I'm going to do?
In fairness to Chris, the building for the corporate headquarters is in the Franklin Berry Farms area. But
yeah,
no-
but I
no
don't think
farms are listed.
I don't think the higher ups that are working at the corporate office in Franklin are going out to slaughter the cows.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
No, I wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
I've seen the interviews with the CEO. She seems very nice, but I don't think she'd be the one to take the cow out.
She taking the cows out? No, I don't think she would. I think she could,
Probably.
but she's not going to. So, yeah, I think at some point, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do it, but maybe Murphy Show can do open lines, and people can talk about how they felt about In-N-Out. You know?
I think they'll be
There's
happy.
no news about cows and
It's
harvesting.
just a rumor.
Fake news fan.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
By the way, am I the only one wearing these headsets that feels like I should break out into a basketball play-by-play or something?
It does feel like we should be in play-by-play.
It does. It does.
It's awkward, right?
It is. I don't
It's
like them at all.
The headset with the mic.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it
Feels
at
like
all.
I'm in 98.
And it's crashing my hair.
Yeah. Looks.
First world problems, Joan.
Yeah.
First world problems.
It's true.
All right, so real quick, what do you got coming up, Chris?
Well, we are going to be doing the toy field stuff, but I promise you I will be yelling about Somalis, and I will.
Okay, can I tell you what's really awkward? We're in this environment where all these people are
I know.
around, and there's all this
I know.
Christmasly goodness, and we're screaming about Somalians and illegal aliens.
My wife said to me, she said, are you going to bring up the Somalis? Because there's going to be a lot of people coming in bringing kids' toys, and they might not necessarily want to hear about the Somalis. And I said, that's the exact person I want to hear
Those
about.
are the
I want
people
to hear
that
about
need
the
to hear
Somalis.
about the Somalis.
Exactly
So
right.
we'll talk about the Somalis. We'll also talk about the heck of a launch for one Senate campaign for Jasmine Crockett.
Did you hear that rap song?
I didn't hear the rap song, but did you see the video that she did? The first commercial going around where it's just Trump on repeat calling her low IQ?
Yeah, and why did she delete it, though? That's what I don't understand. At least I heard that she deleted it.
I think, I haven't seen if she deleted it. If I was just guessing if she did delete it, I think it's because conservatives loved it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Conservative is everything Trump said is true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
All right.
So we'll talk about all that and more. Plus, we'll be soliciting your donations for brand new toys for kids in need this holiday season.
8:55, Nashville's Morning News, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Live back in the studio tomorrow, the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Listen, they're in the middle of their Big Daddy Trump special. That's right, $12 gets you a comprehensive exam, x-rays if you need them, well-explained diagnosis, and that first treatment. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009. Find them online anytime, painisbad.com. Listen, if you have back or neck pain, sciatica, slipped or bulging spinal discs, herniated discs, spinal stenosis, numbness or weakness in the arms and legs, fingers or toes, they can help you with their state-of-the-art spinal decompression therapy, no surgery, no spinal injections, and no painkillers. 615-246-5009, painisbad.com, painisbad.com.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
$30 seconds.
All right, it's coming up on 9 o'clock. Did you find a good text message to read to bring us to the end of the radio broadcast?
I totally forgot because I was telling you guys about the soccer game I'm excited about.
So, real quick, talk about that real quick.
The Super Gay Soccer game is coming to Seattle, and everybody's very excited about it. June 26th,
Yeah.
FIFA was going to have – it's their first ever Pride match. It is the gayest night in soccer history, and everybody was very excited. They were celebrating this. And the teams got announced yesterday.
Yes.
So do you know the two teams that they picked for the Super Gay Soccer match in Seattle?
Tell us.
Egypt and Iran.
Egypt and Iran.
I don't know who's getting trolled
man.
harder. Are they trolling the Middle Easterners or are they trolling the Rainbow Mafia?
Oh, my God.
It's
that is
poetry.
so funny.
It's poetry.
Poetry in motion.
It really is.
Yeah.
All right, more with Chris coming up next on WTN.